It's all pretty solid proof that there is no deep state. Because if there was, they would have stopped this. Okay? But if they do exist, I just want to say to the cabal of financial and governmental elites who pull all the strings behind the scenes, maybe put a pause on your 5G chip JFK Jr. adrenochrome chemtrail orgy and jump in here, because we're f***ing dying. FEDelio. FEDelio.
Please, come forward.
The beat.
May I have the password, please?
FEDelio.
That's right, sir. That is the password for admittance.
And that's when your heart goes in your chest like, fuck.
That's when your heart goes into your chest. Everybody out there viewing, welcome to the page. This is your host here, Lord of Lips. Another installment of a live stream. Got the Hummer review in as well. Maybe some other people will tap in as we come along here. But everybody, welcome to the page. Like, comment, subscribe, share the page as well. Let's spread the word. And follow us on TikTok too.
Yep.
At the Hummer review, also Books with Bros. And then we have a Know It Alls page on TikTok as well, or Lord of Lips page on TikTok as well. Follow us all there for shorter form content. But I introed with that little clip there of the Tonight Show, and then going into some Eyes Wide Shut shit there, because it seems to be, no matter how hard we attempt to get away from this thing here, it's following us. You know, it seems to continue to follow us. What do you say about that?
You know, people in the deep state miss the 80s bad. Like now, now it's just like the Tonight Show's talking about them, and like obviously the president talks about them all the time, and like it's not even a secret anymore. It's just like it's a so well out known thing that it's just
We're joking about
for big conspiracy. Right, exactly. Back then it was like a real quick conspiracy. If you said deep state, people was like, "Please, you believe in that?" and all that. And now people in deep state gotta be like, "Godly."
But you know what's funny about that exact thing, and we talked about it on here, is remember they did this with the Illuminati, like post 2010. Remember they started joking about the Illuminati. Remember first it was like a secret,
Yeah.
It was like a hot button thing.
Right.
When we grew up and shit,
you're right. It is kind of similar.
Thing that we was researching.
Yeah.
About. And then the media and Hollywood got, and it was in movies.
Yeah.
And that's how they get you up off of it.
Right.
Once it's all out in the public and stuff, you start to believe like, all right, well, obviously it's not a secret society no more. Everybody's talking about it.
Yeah, they did do that with the Illuminati, and now knowing the Illuminati's old news.
It's old news.
Oh yeah, and that was the thing.
Now it's deep.
Yeah. That Illuminati was the one when we was growing up.
It was the one. I mean, the one.
Yep. And Jay-Z.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, here we are. I don't really think it didn't go nowhere. You know, things just have a funny way of rebranding, right?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah,
same thing. Deep State, Illuminati. It was the same. It's the same conspiracy. Same guys, same people.
You're right.
Same people. But what's funny is, and we're just gonna get right fucking to it, because we'll talk some other bullshit later. But what's funny is this idea. Well, first let me ask you. We talked about it on here, and anybody out there watching and viewing. I want to pose this question. I do not myself have a child. So you having a child, a newborn, and stuff like that, does it give you a newfound perception on what the fuck people actually do, like in history, not just the deep state or this whole pedophilia ring, but I'm talking this shit goes back from our history, from like biblical times. Like this was talked about Moloch and Belial and like worship, like sacrificing children to this
For
god.
sure. For
Like,
sure.
can you believe people actually do that?
Yeah, man. You know, when we were talking about Zach, I forget. It might be Moses, but I forget who exactly it was where they had to.
Abraham.
Nah, it wasn't Abraham. Abraham's the one where he was supposed to, and like God stopped him. And was like, nah. There's a one where the dude really sacrificed his son because it was to get back in God's good eye. He crossed God, and God was like, well, like, it's like, nah.
And that's what I'm saying. That's from Old Testament.
That's Old Testament stuff, yeah.
Theology and ideology, and you know, now the New World kind of got away from that, but the fact that that's part of our written history, and for people out there, this is what I'm trying to tell you guys. Like, I don't want you guys to think of this as some fringe conspiracy, some QAnon conspiracy that we're talking. I'm talking about this has so much roots in our history, like in a lot of things that you may not even know how far it goes back and how intertwined it is, but this is really intertwined.
It goes back to, I mean, it's still happening today, even in as far as like, you know, there was just not just, but Joe Rogan was talking about this other tribe that happens today, and I don't know if it was Africa, I don't know exactly where it was on the map, but it was that when you turn a man, it's like 11 or 10 years old, you have to have sex with the men. That's how you become a man. Excuse me?
Yeah, that's ritualistic.
That's ritual, and that's just their tribe, and that's how we do it. And it's like, what? So I'm just saying, I mean, I guess it's not sick to them because it's just like that's the only thing they know. That's what they was raised like. That's just what it is. But man, oh man, yeah, this has been going on from since the beginning of time of human beings.
Yeah. And what's funny about the story that you talked in the Bible and stuff like that, you know, there's interpretations of that on a lot of people thought that our ancient people, the people of Israel and stuff like that, that part of their falling away from the covenant, you know, of God was that human sacrifice and that following pagan gods. This is the history of paganism, right? And some of the ancient people falling away from the 10 commandments and worshiping deities, worshiping even some of this has roots in astrology, in the fact of, you know, a lot of ancient people started to worship the sun. Like you think of the Egyptians and Sumerian, like a lot of them, if you look at their writings and stuff, they were worshiping deities, and they gave deities names. You know, they would give the sun a name and then draw them and stuff like that. And that's kind of like some astrology history on, like, you know, a lot of the planets, the alignments, our horoscopes, that stems from that worship, and there's paganism in that. But I just ultimately, I mean, I got some jokes and shit, but I want people to understand that I personally don't think that this Epstein list, the P. Diddy situation, you got to think of some of the top news over the past 5 years, right? And it all seems to stem back to this Epstein thing, right? And a lot of people may not be able to draw the correlations between Epstein and the Diddy situation. And even I mentioned last year the Drake situation, right? Not that Drake is a pedophile or not. You know, I got my own beliefs.
But it was involved.
It was involved. It's a topic of discussion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, why is the theme of 2024 pedophilia?
Right.
Like, why is that the theme? And you know what I found out? What's really interesting is we know about the Manhattan Project. We went and watched Oppenheimer, right? Robert Oppenheimer, the father of the atomic bomb, right? And in Oppenheimer, see, they didn't cover this in Oppenheimer, but I just did some research, and I'm like, wow, because I don't remember them saying this in the movie. Maybe they did, but I swear, maybe I just correlated the Manhattan Project happening in Manhattan, and I wasn't paying attention. But the Manhattan Project, where they came up with the atomic bomb, the secret project, they did that at the Bohemian Grove. Yeah, they did that they came up with that. So the father of atomic energy, a nuclear bomb, that idea was presented at the Bohemian Grove. Right. And for those of you guys out there, I know Hunter knows a little bit about it. For those of you guys out there watching that aren't familiar with the Bohemian Grove, obviously look into it. But shout out to fringe right conspiracy theorist, our guy, Alex Jones. But because he was the one in the early 2000s, I think it was, to kind of blow the cover off the Bohemian Grove. Now it was like it's been a secret society for hundreds of centuries, right? But
he went up there with the cameras and shit and snuck in and got him,
like confirmed,
and got him when they was doing their rituals and shit.
And got him when they was doing the rituals, confirmed for sure. So when you understand that the Bohemian Grove is an iteration of the worship of Moloch, which is the Old Testament God that we're talking about, where they was feeding children to Moloch.
Yeah,
and God prohibited that. And then you get the Bohemian Grove, where it's been rumored that they do human sacrifice and child sacrifice there too, along with other ceremonious rituals. So my point is that all of this very much I mean, I'm going out on a limb and saying it's probably intertwined, right? It's probably connected. The millions of missing children, the Save Our Children protest that was going on in 2019. I can even trace it back to Michael Jackson's "We Are the World" movement, guys. A lot of this is intertwined with the stopping of human sex
rings, right?
Yeah, and when you understand it from that lens, you will see why this fraction of our governmental body, or whatever, this cult, whatever you want to consider it, cannot be exposed.
It's not going to be. Alex Jones just said, I'm not Alex Jones. Tim Dillon, the way he said today, like, guys, come on. I mean, I've said it for a long time that it's just not impossible. It can't. Everybody we think of, everybody in them higher seats would get, like, the world could fuck around and, like, it would be done. It would literally be a flip of a switch of
the elites are no longer elite.
I don't even know what the world would be like without that. Like, if that really did happen, I really don't even know.
But you remember what we talked about maybe a few months ago? We did a stream here at the house with Holden and everybody. And you remember we talked about, remember during that period, they were trying to usher us in
to making it okay. Having that, they had that weird word where they was like making it not pedophilia.
Yeah, like gender or minor attracted individuals.
Yeah.
And then we see now we're seeing, the reason why I bring this up is because, and we'll get to Donald Trump. I know you can't wait. We'll get to him, because in his responses, and Kash Patel's responses, and Pam Bondi's responses, everybody that's in charge of this file, their responses is that they're and Kash Patel went on Joe Rogan, and I covered it on here. He got crushed. I don't know if you've ever still seen it, because I don't think you watched the episode.
No, I haven't.
That was when it was the day that was recorded was the day Elon went off on Trump on Twitter. And so Jamie brought it up live, and Kash Patel got crushed. You know his bug eyes. You know his fucking bug eyes. He got crushed and said he didn't want to talk about it. He's not talking about Epstein and Trump on the podcast and shit. And Joe was just like, oh, I mean, okay. It was just weird. It got weird as fuck. But anyways, these are the same people that are saying that there's 10,000 videos of child pornography on there. There's people that weren't they're involved in the investigation, but they weren't involved in the act, the ceremonious act. So they don't want to release it, the files or whatever, and put those people in harm's way. That's their reasoning right now.
I mean, well, like, maybe they should be fucking kids.
He's talking about, they're saying that there's innocent people listed on the list.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Remember the Epstein list came out, and there was a whole bunch of them. Michael Jackson's name was on there, and we're like, come on. And Donald Trump's name was on there, and we're like, all of these people weren't. They might have just flown on the plane.
Yeah.
They might have had, because when you're creating a file, a dossier on somebody, they're filing everything.
Yeah.
Any email Jeffrey Epstein sent, anything.
And they're trying to fake save the innocent people.
Yes. That's the sword they're falling on right now, that they're saving the innocent people and the children that are on the list. And they don't want the abusers, the women that have been abused, to have to go through this PTSD again. The victims. That's what they're essentially saying. They're saving
so the people just get scot-free again.
So the elites get off scot-free because they want to protect the victims. What we're getting.
Okay.
And it's like, well, first off, you could condense this list, or you could even the video footage you got. You don't got it. We're not asking for all 10,000. We're not asking for the whole list. Why don't you redact the list, or summarize the list to the people that you're doing an active investigation on?
Right. Boom. Exactly. We have videos of these motherfuckers fucking kids, and we're going to start
We're
investigating.
doing an active investigation.
Yeah.
So here's the list of people we're doing an active investigation on. We don't.
Right.
You don't got to give us the names that you don't think. Even though, like, I know you and I don't trust them as far. Even if they did that, like they came out with a list of people that they're investigating, I wouldn't trust that. It's been manipulated too many times. Now it's been in the hands of 2 different administrations. You know what I'm saying? And Trump is looking really, really, I mean, we're here now. Let's talk about it. Trump is looking really, really, really bad in the light. And this is everybody saying this is his first big gaffe. I mean, we know the Iran-Israel situation, but a lot of people side with that and think he did a great job, mission accomplished.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of people out there, right, in the communities that think what we think, which is the war probably is going to be prolonged. But for the most part, that's considered a win. Now, I
saw a report come out and say that Iran's for 2 years.
For 2 years, yeah, they delayed.
So right, but that's just prolonged. But yeah, right. Half people think, oh, good job, Trump. Exactly. This I saw the director of FBI like, man, I'm about to step down.
Yeah, I'm about to step down.
I'm done with y'all, bro. Because like, man, can you imagine having that job and realizing, like, you know, there's a lot of people in higher positions to where I truly believe that like maybe he didn't know all the workings.
Nah.
Like there's people. It's the same thing with like cops. You know, we say all the time like there's good cops. And it's the system that's fucked up. And this is the same thing. Like there's definitely people in higher positions that are, I'm sure they've done bad stuff, like we're all human beings, but like who don't really understand everything and like they ultimately want good. And then you find out shit like this and it's like, you know what, bro? I'm done. What do you mean you tell us for 4 years releasing a list and then come out and say what list?
You literally campaign on it.
The list that you said that you was dropping. That list. How is there no list now? What do you mean? I don't understand.
This be where, you know, this will be where my problem is with our government, that we continuously let them get away with shit like this, bro. It was not like this 10 years ago, bro. They just didn't tell us shit. They just didn't tell us shit.
Right.
They just let it be conspiracy theorists. They did not address the deep state. They didn't address the They didn't address none of this type of shit.
No.
They just let us run. But now that y'all are addressing it, and then y'all spit on us because y'all literally slap us in the face and do little shit like this.
And they and say stuff like what list? It's like
what list? It's like it's like the Mandela effect, right? It's like that whole idea of that you could just say something and convince the whole people that you didn't say something.
Right.
If you got the power to do it. Tamaya, shout out to you, Tamaya. She said, how do you feel about Greek mythology? What's your thoughts about that? And then she said, Hunter Dexter's out. That's Hoda's dog.
Hey, facts.
Oh, shit.
She's talking about Dexter the show out. Yep, I did just see that yesterday. I need to tap in ASAP.
Oh, the show is back out?
Yep, he did.
Didn't do like True Bloods or Bad Blood or some shit?
They did it like spun up to a whole new universe where the show was the original show was outdone for like 5-10 years. When I was in Houston, they dropped a 1-season thing.
Yeah.
That goes to New Blood. That's what it was called. New Blood. 1 season. Yeah. And it was his son, his blah, blah, blah. And at the end of that season, Dexter like got shot and died. And we was all like, bro, what the hell? Like, what the horrible.
Yeah.
Then they came back out and they did like a younger Dexter when he was like in, you know, young 20s, like a young version of him. But now this is the show with the original Dexter. Like he didn't die. And he got shot, but he didn't die. And what's going on with that? But I'm tapped in, man. The reviews already came out 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Like, it's going to be good. So I trust that.
Where is it? Where's that? That was streaming on like not Stars. Where's
Showtime?
Showtime. I'm pretty sure it was Showtime. Yeah, but Tamaya, I definitely like Greek mythology is interesting. Here's the thing with Greek mythology. Greek mythology has a lot of truth to it, but it's like a remixed version of the Book of the Dead. So like you guys got to realize that there's a missing like 13 years of Jesus's history, right? Or a hidden Jesus's got a hidden history,
right?
And that was the time where he was rumored to go to Greece. He was rumored to go to Egypt. He was rumored to go to further east to China and stuff like that. And that's where Jesus got a lot of his teachings. And then he came back with the teachings, and that's when he became the Christ. And during this period, not during that period, but you got to realize that those cultures, like during the height of their civilizations, they had gotten access to African literature. You know, the Greek mythology. I wouldn't say China, but Greek mythology, Roman mythology, the book of the Library of Alexandria, a lot of that stuff was like stolen from African literature and African rituals and ceremonies and stuff like that. And then they kind of took it and adopted it and assimilated it in their culture. So I definitely believe in the Greek mythology and stuff I'm not saying like I believe in the Bhagavad Gita and all that stuff, but there's some truth in there. You know, there's some mysticism, truth in those things. Let me see if she dropped another comment. Somebody did. But fuck, I lost track on what I was about to say about the whole Trump thing. It's the first big gaffe. Because again, like we're saying, they're just kind of like spitting on us and telling us raining. That's what a lot of people's problem is, and he's losing a lot of his base.
He really is.
He's trying to pretend like a lot of his people didn't care about this. And here's what Trump is really weird. And we're gonna get into some conspiracies next, but it's really weird because Trump is basically saying like, you guys see all this other good shit I'm doing. It's like a mistake. Like he's like, why? He literally came out and said, "Why are y'all still talking about this Epstein thing? Look at what I'm doing."
Right.
And it's like, because A, you ran on that. B, it's a sex pedophile ring.
Right. Right. What do you mean? Like it's gas prices, dude.
Like it's gas prices. You know what I'm saying? Like we're talking about a sex pedophile ring, and I don't think people understand the severity. You talked about it a second ago when you said it can't come out, and the reason why it can't come out. But like, we're also dealing with people out there that in real life have, because we just discount the fact like there's many parents out there with missing fucking children.
I mean, thousands and millions. Yeah, I mean, fuck, all these kids, they had parents.
They had parents. Yeah. And you know how fucked up that feeling is as a parent? If you're watching it, first off, if I was a parent, like if I had a missing child, I wouldn't even be, I couldn't even pay attention to this because I might go crazy. You know what I'm saying? I might go down a wormhole of pure craziness. Right. And then my thoughts will run on like, what if that's my child? Like my child's involved in that sex. Because as a parent, when your child goes missing, it's the worst thing you could ever imagine, right? The worst thing you could ever. But you then hope, you start saying, I want to bring my child home. Or then when it's 20 years, 5 years, you just hope your child is dead and like not being tortured. Right. There's parents that really want their child to just be not tortured.
Yeah, hell
but you start thinking, you're able to think about a sex cult ring where your child is now being sex trafficked and sent from Libya, from Mali to China to just all these different places as a sex slave. You couldn't get over it.
With the mic on.
What'd you say?
Like your mic is crazy. Like a.
Oh shit! My shit was unplugged.
It's still doing it.
Still doing it?
Yeah, it's loud too.
Hold on.
Can you hear it on my end? No, I can't hear. I don't hear it, but I don't hear you either.
What about now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, but the mic's still messed up.
You can still hear the mic?
Yeah.
Damn. Hold on. Mic, camera. Give us a second, guys.
But
damn. Still messed up?
Yeah. You can't hear it on your end. No, I don't hear you. I don't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but the mic's messed up.
Bro. Go ahead and talk real quick while I fix that.
Yeah, man. Donald Trump trying to play this whole, like what you just said. He said, why are you guys still worried about this? It's been years. It's like, boy, I don't even care about what he ran on or not. Like you said, it's a sex ring. And we care about kids being raped. I mean, I don't know why he thinks that's crazy. He's losing a bit of his following, or a lot of his following. And Trump really knows a weird position because obviously he knows if he doesn't release this, he's going to die. And that's just what that is. So, I mean, are you really going to fall off your sword?
Hold on, man. Hold on. Stay right here. I got to fix this to get into this. Damn it, bro. Is it better now? I don't understand. MacBook.
Can you unplug it?
Let me see. Everybody bear with me, man. Fuck.
I mean, I wonder if they can hear it in the thing. You can't hear it. Then maybe it's just my, like, I don't know. So someone put in the comment if it's bugging out.
They did.
Nah, they haven't put anything on the YouTube.
Try to do something with your. Is it your mic or my mic?
Oh, she said Hunter's audio's messed up on the stream.
That's what I thought.
All right, well, let me. I'm about to read. I'm about to leave and then invite me.
All right. Damn, I did not, bro. My thing did not let me know I had any of these comments. My fault, guys. I don't know if you guys can hear me. Let me see. Can you guys hear me? Zach said this: New Mexico's condemned Trinity. I remember that from the movie Oppenheimer. Legendary Rogan moment. Lolita Express. Bill Clinton was on the plane a lot and went to the island. He was good pals with Epstein. No way, you just said that, Stefan. Paramount Plus. India. Hunter's audio's messed up. Hunter's is all static. Okay, I'm glad that it was his and not mine, bro, because I was bugging. It's your mic, bro. For some reason, try to clear the app. You want me to send you another invite, another link?
Yes. Send me another link.
Yeah. All right, everybody, bear with me. I'm about to send him another link. But yeah, to all what you guys are saying. Oh, okay, everybody's saying they can hear me good. It's on Hunter's part. It's bugging. Okay, good look, Dylan. Good look, Ray. But what he was saying, well, hey, let me toss it to the parents out there while I get him back in the chat, man. You guys out there have kids and stuff like that. I don't think that this Epstein thing is something to just sneeze at and for us to kind of just forget about and turn over and like act like we need to roll over a new leaf. No, there are sitting active Congress members, House of Representative members, maybe people on the Fed chair, maybe people in the judicial branch, people in governmental bodies, presidents, all types of shit that are actively engaged in abetting a pedophile ring. And I don't think that that's something that we're just like, as Donald Trump wants us to do, stop talking about fucking Epstein. Like, no, we're not going to stop talking about the dude. And first off, we already know he's a shill. He's a guise for the bigger and badder people. We know that this guy is kind of like, this guy is a alleged Mossad agent, which we've talked about on this page here a lot, which is Israel's intelligence agency that he was given operatives to come over into this territory and other territories and to be able to participate in this sex ring and use that to shield and like blackmail high-ranking politicians and industry members. This is what the operative was for Jeffrey Epstein. This isn't what I'm thinking. This isn't what I'm saying. This is what it is. This is the dossier on this man. And like we can't just forget that. We can't just forget the Pizzagate discovery by QAnon in 2020 or 2019, where through the WikiLeaks and emails being hacked and Hillary Clinton's emails coming up and all these people's emails coming up and the New York senator or whoever that went to jail for this shit, you know, that they were like ordering pizzas and shit. They had code secret names and stuff for like different people. And Olives met these type of kids and Banana Peppers met these type of kids and this whole weird shit that's going on. Not to mention, other people's involvement potentially in this. And I'm talking about big corporations and stuff like that. It's one big intertwined ring with a lot of powerful people in it that have serious major implications. So no, we shouldn't just forget about it. But yeah, man, he said, cash head on a stake over my kids' justice. That's what I'm saying. First of all, I mean, we see that now I'm hearing that Kash Patel is not stepping down, but Pam Bondi or the attorney general, well, that's Pam Bondi, but the other person, Bogianni, is talking about stepping down. Ain't no way the victims don't want this out. I don't care. Maybe they don't, maybe they do, but that like is so much bigger than, to me, this isn't an investigation to where this is solely about providing justice to the active victims of this. We're all victims of this. We're all victims of a big pedophile blackmail ring, especially if this blackmail ring has anything to do with a foreign central intelligence agency soliciting somebody coming over here to blackmail our politicians. We're all victims of that. If Jeffrey Epstein is a central intelligence agent or a Mossad agent, then we're all victims, and we all have the right for this to be exposed. Every detail of this to be exposed. Now, granted, there may be active victims of not the blackmail, but the sexual perversion and all that stuff like that. But we're all victims. Our government is literally bowing and kissing the ring of a foreign entity due to intelligence. This is like if we sent our CIA, which we do, if we sent our CIA over into other nations and stuff like that and blackmailed their politicians, blackmailed their kings and rulers and stuff like that, whether through sex rituals, whatever means we do it, right? The people of that government is victims of that government. So I just want to highlight again that we are victims of this Epstein thing. And this does affect all of us because our government, which is put in office to represent the people, is clearly, what is the word I'm looking for? They are compromised by foreign intelligence. Hunter?
Yeah, they were just better off leaving it alone.
Better off leaving it alone
than doing what they're doing now. I mean, they was better off leaving it in the conspiracy and letting people like us be wooks and crazy and doing that. But then when they let it know that, oh shit, this is actually facts. We got the head guy in Jeffrey Epstein, and we got his girl who was doing the Giselle or whatever her name is, Maxwell. And when they dropped the documentary, and then they dropped another documentary, then they faked his death, and then all type of stuff. They
did what?
They faked his death bad, and they came out and said that they had video. No, y'all don't.
It's so delusional. That's the big bombshell. That's the number one trending thing in the country right now, right? It's not only the gaffe of the Trump administration, but it, like Hunter's saying, it's the fact that y'all aren't even, like Tim Dillon said, y'all aren't even trying. Y'all aren't even trying. Not even trying. Y'all release the video and say nothing happened. Nothing happened. Here's the video. Here's the 24-hour surveillance video with a whole minute missing, with 4 different audios and video formats stitched together, and there's a minute missing. And y'all's excuse for the minute missing being that that prison facility always has, there's only a certain amount of tape that could be rolled, and there's always a minute missing in every video every night, and then they got to stitch it together.
And when they first did it, they said that the camera was off. So
that's right. That was the initial thing.
That was the initial thing. So which one is it? I just think that it's really crazy because, back in the 60s with JFK and all this stuff, they could get all that off. They could tell us what they wanted, and there was nothing. So I either think that it's one of two things. Either the deep state or all these people, they still haven't caught up with the times, which I don't think that's it. Mm-hmm. But because, the shit that they're doing is just so, guys, we can see, we have video.
It's antiquated.
It's a new world right now. Mm-hmm. Or it's, we don't care. You ain't gonna do nothing about it anyway, and that's what's more likely. What I think is what they gonna do. I mean, Trump ran on that and everything. He got in office. They said, "You drop that list. Drop that list."
I can't wait. We're about to get into this. Let me read these comments. Hold on. Bongino is the deputy FBI director. Yeah, he's the one that's talking about stepping down. So Cash Sleeves Bongino would be the new FBI dude. If he then leaves, I don't know who his replacement will be. Lane says, you don't want this for the next generation, though. And pushing shit under the rug is how this happens. That's how the weird cousin touches you, then touches your daughter years later. Exactly. Exactly. That's why it needs to be broken up, busted up, and exposed today. But Hunter, let me respond to what you said. I think it's a little bit of both. Because you know me, I'm big in prophecy and stuff like that. And I remember the minister one time, he went up to a Cliff Park radio station, and he chewed them out. I've showed you the video before. Talked about the media, talked about how they've sold out, and you don't have a free state if you don't have, journalists and media members are supposed to hold. They're the actual for the people. They're the most important part of our government.
Yeah,
Besides, I mean, the lawmakers and stuff like that, but they hold the government responsible. I mean, really think about the branch of media members, right? If they give us wrong information and we got wrong information, we don't have no other access to what's going on in the government other than people that work in the media, right? And people that work in the free press. It's called free press. Basically, he said at one point, and thank you to Steve Jobs, the man who freed the world. And Steve Jobs freed the world, as we all know, due to this. Our society is, like Hunter said, it's a new world. It's literally the new world. And it's due to the fact that we have access to everything on this phone. And also these phones contain cameras and stuff like that. Everything's documented. We can see everything, right? So it's a double-edged sword. But in the process of phones taking over, the deep state, as some might want to call them, even secret societies and stuff like that, they don't have they can't use the same tools that they used to be able to use. Alan Dershowitz a long time ago said that back in the day it was easier to control 1 million people. Today it's easier to kill 1 million people than it is to control 1 million people.
Right.
And that's because the genie's out the bottle now, right? The cat's out the bag, the genie's out the bottle, because we all got access on our phone. You know, back then you used to have to either know somebody that knew somebody, you would have to actively do the investigation, you would have to go to the Smithsonian Library.
They would hide all the stuff that
it was in a book.
Hide it,
that was the thing. If you want certain information, it was in a book somewhere, right?
Yeah.
And shout out to the Ninth Gate. Hunter, you gotta watch the Ninth Gate movie. The Ninth Gate is kind of about this, where there's a copy of the Devil's Book, and there's only a few original copies, and this guy is sent around by this dude that thinks he has the original copy to go see if the other people in Paris and in Rome got the other original copy. Right. And so it's a whole like a cult film and shit like that. But my point being is that we've been freed up by the use of technology. So to your point earlier, I do think it's a little bit of both. I think that they are antiquated. I think that the people that are in control,
that they don't know what else to do.
They don't know other ways to control 8 billion people. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
And you got to lean on your tactics that you've used before, right? And we joke about on here. There's a group of people. I don't want you to say their name, but you've been saying that they're getting on your nerve because they always point the finger on something that they're doing, right? And they call you a certain name if you accuse them of something,
right?
Well, if that's a certain people's way of doing this, right? Wouldn't that kind of abbreviate all over some other facets that they control and do? They would accuse you of shit to get you to, or get the rest of the people to stop thinking that you do it. Yeah. Or that they do it, I should say. Yeah. And
I mean, it's what they did with they propagandized World War II about it.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Exactly.
Same like exactly what they're doing. Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what they did in World War II. Made it all about them.
Yep. And it's like, to get everybody up off of our case and what we might be doing, let's point the finger and accuse them of what we're actually doing.
Right.
And that's the classic case. There's another artist that I've been accusing of doing that, and another basketball player, by the way, that I've accused of doing the same tactic. By the way, guys, just a little cliff note. The Manhattan Project that we talked about earlier, Zach, I know you'll get a thrill out of this. This coming up in the Bohemian Grove. What we do know about the Bohemian Grove is it's a ceremonious thing that goes on. Guess when? In mid-July. So probably right now. For 2 weeks out of the year, the elites go there. So if we haven't heard from Obama and Bill Clinton and George Bush and some other high-ranking members, we know where they're at. It's right on time for them to be at their festival. But that Bohemian Grove, the symbol for it is the owl, right? And I think it's really, really interesting. I've talked to you about this and just personally about, to me, the esoteric, like the owl in the Bohemian Grove and how that represents. And then you got Drake, right? And his logo being the owl. And I just think that a lot of these things are connected. I think that the pedophilia thing really needs everybody, as uncomfortable as it is, and it really, really, really is. I think everybody needs to kind of do a quick, brief historical search on what that stems from. We talked about on this stream, me and you, the acts of what we consider pedophilia in Western society, going on in biblical times, just in like marrying people, right? And it was so normal. So just kind of that idea and where it stems from and how it's kind of changed iterations over the centuries and millenniums, really thousands of years. People need to kind of do some research on it, and a lot of things will start making sense. But back to Trump. Let's start. Let me see if I got comments. Jack said, "Big Mike Obama is there now." LOL. Now you said when the mic was fucked up, you was touching on him dying on his sword. Can you say that again? Because your mic was cutting out.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it comes down to. I think that Trump, like we've said it all the time. You know, I don't want, like, it's not cutting him bail at all. It's just, I think that Trump is really a crazy madman, delusional guy. When he was running for office and he wanted to get the Epstein list out, I think that he really intended to do that. I think that in his brain, that's what he intended to do. I think he got in office and they was like, do it. Do it. You think that little weak ass attempt last time? Do it. Like,
no, elaborate on that. What you just said
about the last attempt. That was a warning shot. What do you
mean? For people out there that may not be picking up what you're saying, correlate what you're saying.
Oh, they will get him killed fast in a hurry, and I mean, in a snap, and his family and anybody they want. They knock people off. They've been knocking people off these past few years, just so crazy. They've been doing it forever. So like, Trump knows that, and he's had I don't know if he has a talk. Like, I don't necessarily, we said deep state, but like, I don't, like, who knows how it works? You know how it really, if there's a person, he's been informed that drop the list. You drop this list, and we'll see. You'll see. Let's see what you really want. And does Trump really want to die for it? I mean, no. I don't think he's, he's all pro-American. What do you say? Fight. Yeah. Okay. Well,
yeah, it looked like. I ain't gonna lie. I agree. Also, for everybody out there viewing, we're talking about the 2 assassination attempts that happened on Trump. Actually coming up on a year, maybe today or something.
People act like being a martyr is easy.
No, that we talk that shit. I sit on this stream with 6 viewers in my basement talking that shit until I'm Nick Fuentes or Candace Owens or Fark, like somebody that like actually being followed.
And people are trying to kill.
Yeah.
And plotting on you. And you got to move. It's like, that's scary.
That's scary big time.
Big time. I might shut my goddamn mouth.
Easily I would. I'm letting y'all know here. So if y'all think I am not a martyr. If y'all think that this is the channel where I'm gonna take it that far, wrong channel.
Right. Go to Candace Owens.
Wrong channel. Not happening. But they could send. Listen, man. You already know. Me and you joke about Blackstone. And they could send an email to my job, and I'm done.
Right. We've been informed that you have an employee. It's like, well, sorry.
Well, that's done. Channel's done.
Yeah. Right.
So, like, again, it's easy for us to sit here and say, "Oh yeah, release the list and die on that sword." But it's like when you really know them boys, or don't know them, but you know that they've been whacking people. I don't think people really understand.
No, I was trying to tell, not necessarily you, but that's a big thing when I was telling Shane a long time ago about Joe Rogan. It's like, he's the biggest motherfucker in the world.
They're being watched.
Watched by everybody. He can't just, it's so easy for us to get on here and be like, well, ask the question. It's like, no.
Right. Easy for you to say.
No. Everybody in the world is watching this podcast. And they already want to kill him. So, yeah, man. Being a martyr, people make it seem like when we go through history and we see these martyrs, we make it seem like even like the Martin Luther Kings and all those people, like they didn't want to die. Malcolm X, they didn't choose to die. They was martyrs because they didn't stop what they believed in and shit, and they got murdered.
He said, "My heroes are giving up right now." You damn right.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, most martyrs that we know through history don't have a clear decision of. I mean, you can say Malcolm X because they was after Malcolm X.
Yeah,
His
I mean, they some of them they cross a line. They know like, okay, this is going to get me
cross that
killed.
line. They know that if I
This
keep
is going
going
to get me
after
killed.
this,
Yeah,
there's a high chance that they're going to come after me harder. But Trump,
but they still don't want to die.
No one exactly. They don't want to die, and Trump knows that if he releases this list, there's no going back. He will die. And oh my gosh, can you imagine the list out? Everything's fucked up. Our president gets assassinated. Oh my God, America is in shambles. That'd be the worst thing. That'd be so crazy.
So do you think they brokered it? Because my brain goes in. Whew. Do you think they brokered him up a deal like, okay, Mr. Trump, you're doing this whole American first thing? Oh my God, can I just say the truth?
Mm-hmm.
Let me say the truth so people can follow what I'm about to say. Guys, when we're saying the deep state, we're talking about potentially a globalist cult, right? A new world order cult. That's the idea of what the deep state represents. It's a globalist, one world order, one government order cult, right? Fringe conspiracy, been a conspiracy since the beginning of time, right?
Right.
And you guys got to remember that back in November in that area, before the actual election and stuff like that, we talked about how Trump was actually doing certain stuff on the world stage that was shaking up the order of things, right? We're talking about the trade war going on. We're talking about the wars in the Middle East, multiple different wars, right? We're talking about potentially supporting and funding a genocide, which cannot be remiss in this situation. That we have a potential in history. How this is going to be written is that we funded a genocide, which is crazy.
Yeah.
And I say all that to say, is it possible that they were like, okay, we don't really want you doing some of that shit there. You're barking up the Fed chair. You're talking about trade war. He's really fucking up shit, right? But you'll do that. But like you said, Hunter, you don't touch this list.
No.
We'll let you in.
What's Donald Trump known for? What's his book called?
The Art of the Deal.
The Art of the Deal. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if that did happen. But it also wouldn't surprise me if it ain't no deal, Don. This is what the fuck it is.
This is
so
what it is.
And you don't get shit. How about that? You're not releasing this list. Or if you do, like that, it could be something that simple. This list was never a thing for me. Even I know you was joking most of the time, but even a year ago, 2 years ago, you'd free the fucking list. Where's the list? I was like, dog, that list is not, it's just it couldn't happen, bro. America would flip upside down and we would cease to be a country. It would mayhem would be so fucking crazy. It'd be worse than the fall of Rome.
Now, what about the other point of this, which is that there is a world out there, because we do know Trump has been closely associated with this list since 2016.
For sure. Yeah, there's a world out there where Donald Trump is just on purpose no.
A lot of people think that he fought so hard to get in the office. He ran on all this other shit, make America
not release it. I mean, I don't really know. It's a possibility. I'm not ruling that out at all. I mean, I'm not, Trump's a fucking. Would it surprise me at all if Trump was actually doing that? Not in the slightest. So I don't even have a real opinion on if I think he's a pedophile or if I don't think he's a pedophile. But it's just it's a tiptoe line because a million people, like you said, Usher, I don't know what Usher, but who is Mike went there. I do not think Mike was a pedophile. There were so many people. You have to understand during that time, that's where the party's at. If you're a celebrity, who was it? Joe Rogan even said, he was like, at one point in time in my life, you'd have told me, hey, all the celebrities over here, hell yeah, we can. I'd come.
Joe also tells a story how he accidentally ended up at an Eyes Wide Shut party.
Exactly, with Dave Chappelle.
Mm-hmm.
With Dave Chappelle, a guy we all love and respect.
Stumbling upon it, though, too.
And Dave Chappelle is also really associated with P. Diddy that no one really talks about. But, do we think that he's really would participate? Not really. I just think that Dave, people act like P. Diddy and even Epstein, all these people, they act like it's 100% of pedophilia. That's not how that works, guys.
Mm-mm.
It's 2%. Okay, everything else is business deals and networking and all that, and really having parties and fun with girl. And then it's the if select few who are really doing the deed. So if there's 100 people on the list, it's probably only 20 of them that was really
right. And that's where that's the elite secret society part of it.
That's
the same thing that we're seeing.
It's like thousands, so it's really like 200.
And this is what we're seeing, guys. This is what we're seeing through the P. Diddy case, by the way.
Yeah,
and same exact thing. And it's that a lot of people that have chosen to have the balls to speak out about the P. Diddy thing, they came out all last year and was saying, like, yeah, we was at Diddy parties, but like you seen it over and over on Shannon Sharp's spot. That must have been the after party because like I never been to that. I went to the after. Everybody
we saw Drewski say that. We saw everything. I believe that.
Everybody said exactly. And so you guys got to understand that they'll dress it all up.
It's Mike Rubin.
Boom. Here's the thing. Here's what they'll do. There's a decade-long waiting list of people trying to get into the Bohemian Grove, right? And it's a known, documented thing that elite members, George Bush, Barack Obama, Elon, like there's a list of people that have gone to the Bohemian Grove. But like Hunter's saying, it's not. That doesn't necessarily mean that they were active in the pedophilia, but how it happened. You don't think that Bohemian Grove is heavily surveilled? Okay. And if we are doing pedophilia here, and we have you on camera,
looks crazy.
We could just use the deep state can use that to kill your character.
Yep.
So even whether Trump actually fucked the kid or not, if you was at these islands,
multiple times,
and you're on the list, we release a list, and you're on the
and Epstein was your guy.
Yeah, Epstein was your guy. You don't think that we could use? And the other thing, not for people out there to understand the heights at which Satan will go, is that you guys got to think of. We're in a time now, guys, and this is going to happen. You can mark my words. Where we got Palantir, Peter Thiel, we got Elon Musk, we got Stargate, we got all the technology, right? And Hunter has always asked me, man, would you want to go to Westworld? Would you do Westworld? Well, that's a discussion for another day. But my point is, I watched a movie a long time ago when I was maybe 12 or 13. I'm into all these, Armageddon type movies. And this movie was called, it was either one of the Left Behind series, or it was called End of Times. And I can't remember which one it was, but in this movie, the Antichrist rose to power, and the Antichrist had some sort of artificial intelligence thing where he was able to entice you with your biggest desires, right? And he would use it. He would literally blackmail you. This was in a movie. He would blackmail you, and he would have like all this stuff that we've searched in our life goes into a cloud. Yeah. And the Antichrist had access to the information that we've all searched. So it knew your deepest, darkest secrets, right? And he would use that to blackmail you. And I
think that's coming to us eventually.
Boom.
In 20 years, that though our kids, like, they're going to know all our searches. They're going to know our porn searches. They're going to know all that.
Boom. This is my whole entire umbrella point about the whole, how the Epstein thing with the P. Diddy thing and the pedophile ring all ties into what they're ushering in with Palantir and face recognition and stuff like that. Yeah. There's a world, guys, out there that people that aren't on the list or people that was just there in attendance, they're going to be able to artificially assimilate that they participated in child pedophilia.
Yeah.
You don't think that this whole facial recognition and voice recognition, they're not going to be able to say people that weren't there was there? They will. And at the top of the show, we talked about normalizing pedophilia before the list ever does come out. So if you're the deep state, right, and you have access to all these tools, what would you do? You would try to get us to normalize pedophilia. And if you can't, or even if you can, you would start normalizing it through
making everybody
boom.
The Rubin. Now we always say the Rubin's a new party. Do we think Tom Brady and Joe Burrow and Drewski and Lil Baby and everybody's doing this?
Lil Baby.
Right? But yeah, exactly right. They make it normalized to the point where it's like, okay, so everybody's doing it.
We all got deep dark
shit. Everybody's a pedophile now.
Yeah.
Okay,
everybody's sick. And it's like to a point, yeah, we are.
Yeah.
And that's where it gets scary because like
the normalization of pedophilia stems from it. You got to think it's a wiring. It's a psychological concept, right? It's how you look at it, because we talked about it just a second ago. In Eastern civilizations, they still marry young.
They still do it.
In older civilizations, they married at 9 and 16 and stuff like that. They've done that, right?
All the time.
In a pubescent, which means after puberty, human is able to have sex. That's some Eastern civilization ideology, right? And in that, you got to understand that if they're able to convince, if Western society is able to convince
everybody that Eastern's been doing it right the entire time,
that they've been doing it right, and we just kind of look at it, because if like you said, if they do what they do and everybody's a pedophile secretly, then it's like, then they're going to have discussions on what we said, minor attracted adults. And then they're going to have discussions on how normal it is. And have you had thoughts? And it gets to where it's real perversive. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, we talking about, and the thing is, we don't even got to go back that far in Western with Edgar Allan Poe, with Elvis Presley, with all these
the age of consent and all that stuff is recent, very recent.
Very recent. Elvis Presley married a 13-year-old or 14-year-old. Edgar Allan Poe was fucking with like a 10-year-old, the biggest poet in the world that we still teach all his literature.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the part, you know, just a quick side thing. I don't know if you know about J.K. Rowling and how she's been getting killed the past 5 years.
Yes, yeah.
She spoke out against trans and that whole movement. You know, if you do that, whoa, you're done.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people now, you know about the new show coming out on HBO that they've been.
Oh, the Harry Potter show.
The new Harry Potter remake, whatever.
Yep.
Well, some people are trying to like fake boycott it and be like, no, you know, she's
anti.
We don't like what she said, and
she's anti-trans and anti-this.
Exactly. And one, I think it is a weird thing, but I do think, you know, me and you've had this conversation multiple times with a lot of things, but I can separate art from the artist.
Okay.
I think that I can. I think it is sometimes hard to do because I can't do it all the time. You know, I have a thing with it. Just depends what the art is. Right?
Yeah, and what it is. Case by case.
I can't do it with R. Kelly.
Yeah,
I can do it with other things. But someone made a TikTok the other day, and you know, this is something we've been saying the entire time. Let's go that route then. Let's go the route where if someone did anything sick, then you ain't got a show to watch, an album to listen to, a movie to watch. You ain't got a book to read, bro. Because
there is a world. There is a world. Yeah.
If we really did that,
all our creators
so crazy, bro. All the literature the literature has been grandfathered. I'm not talking about like people writing books today.
No.
Or obviously it still happens, but I'm talking about them 1800 literatures that still gotten taught in colleges that are requirements.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yeah.
Come on, please.
Yeah, you're right. It would
all come down.
Mozart.
Let's talk about all these. Come on, please. Shakespeare, please. Like, if we're really going down this route, and you can have that opinion where it's like, fuck them, and I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm just saying we ain't playing both sides to where a point where it's like, get Justin Roiland because he smacked his wife or whatever. But I love the Romeo and Juliet play.
Right.
No.
Right. He beat
either keep it one. You know what I mean?
He beat the fuck out of his wife.
But the thing is, I think I can separate art from the creator. The same reason why I told you that I don't think that our ideas are our own.
Right.
So I think the ideas are planted or seeds from God, or the devil.
Yeah.
But I think that they're ideas, and you know, an idea could come to a pedophile or it could come to a non-pedophile.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? So it's a weird line to really tiptoe.
Man, because we know the origins of cults are all stemmed in this.
Exactly right. It's just, it just drives me crazy when people will say stuff about something now about, you know, who's not Justin Roiland, but Dan Harmon.
Yeah.
Dan Harmon. Is he weird?
Sure, I'm 100% sure.
I'm 100% sure he's weird. Is he do some sick shit? Probably. But like, y'all will bang the Elvis record, and y'all will bang you know what I mean? So it's like, how do you don't get your cake and not eat
How do
it
you
too?
differentiate?
How do you do that? Right. And I told you I think music is a little different. Music's a little different because when you're making a play or a movie or a series or a book or something, you're creating a world, right? So you can with songs most of the time. Now you can definitely do that in music too, but music a lot of time is more personable, and that's why you love Kendrick Lamar. That's why we attract to our musicians, and we fan. You don't have no author, or you like Justin Harmon, but like you don't give a fuck about him.
No,
You
right,
like his art.
right,
Kendrick, that's your guy,
right.
because
That's an artist.
he speaks from his experiences,
Mm-hmm.
and he speak. Music is more of a personable art, and it's more of an expressive through their self art. So that's why when you got some allegations that I believe about music, it's like I don't know. If you were someone to believe about Michael Jackson, like if you really believe that he did that, and you was like, I don't like Michael Jackson, I'd understand.
Right.
Now, obviously we don't, so that's my guy. But like I said, with books and other stories, I can kind of make it like I can tell my brain, at least be like, okay, well, this could just be a whole fantasy world. Their sick shit could be staying at home, and this could be something completely different.
Right. Well, here's where, and I agree with you. Here's where it gets weird to me is that, again, I know correlation doesn't always mean
Causation,
right? But when you tell me that there's like 5 different things that correlate, you know what I'm saying, to something?
Yeah.
I'm not, you know how I believe. I don't believe in no accidents.
No. When it's what was the thing we were just talking about? When there's 100 coincidences, it's like
exactly.
Please.
And for me, it better not. It don't even got to get close to 100.
No, yeah, it got to give me a few.
It got to be like 2 or 3.
Yeah,
and then you're kind of like, okay. Then I see order to something. I always see order to something.
Yeah,
everything got order to it. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, to your point about musicians and artists and even writers and stuff like that, my thing it stems from, because me and you will get wrapped up in what is it called? Like ideas and concepts. There's a word for that, not Sufism, but they're just how writers write. We'll be caught up in the world, and we always say, like, how the fuck did they think that?
Yeah, that's
what be blowing me. People be talented too. That be blowing me what they're doing, but sometimes to me it'd be like, okay, how did your brain think that?
You know what's crazy though, and like this, I'm not even trying to sound like conceited. And if you look at it from this way, I'm sure you would agree with me because you have a lot of similar good ideas. I don't really think that much no more. What I think of now, what I'm more impressed with now, is how did they convey it? Because I think I have, and even you, we have crazy. How many times have you said, like, bro, we should have been to these skits? We got way better fucking.
For sure.
We got if we really put together movies with ideas and shit, we got the ideas and the plots.
Yeah, you're right.
To where like I can, and even now with how I've been trying to fake write this book, the hard part for me is how am I going to convey this and put it on wax?
Hold on. Go ahead.
That's the hard part.
Is on how to convey it.
The ideas come to me natural. Crazy ideas, good ideas, them come to me all the time. And I think it really started just a couple years ago in my dreams. But now it's the part where I'll have a fire ass idea, put in my notes, and have like, write a long ass note of like how I want the beginning, the middle, and the end. But it's like that's almost the easy part to me now.
Yeah, let me. Oh, that's a good topic. Go ahead, finish.
That's the easy part. Now the hard part is like, how in the fuck do I build the character, and how do I build the world, and how do I build everything in a way that people would like it? Like, I almost would like to have a writer next to me and say, hey, this is what I'm talking about. This is my idea. This is what I want. This is what blah, 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 and have them do it all for me. And I can make some fire shit.
All right. Now let me jump in. I agree. And that's good pushback that you gave me, because It's the other side of what I'm about to say. Yes, there is a world where there's just creative people out there that can create certain crazy concepts and different shit like what we're talking about. But I'm speaking about the other half where you dig into a creator's catalog, whether it be an artist, a musician, an actual artist, a writer, an author, any of those kind of people, and you start to see esoteric, occult symbols, ideas,
Right.
Old stories, and you see them adopt them.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about. My whole point was that's when Stefan don't think that it's an accident, because I understand that there's order to you either had to start researching that. If you're an artist and you're David Bowie, or who's the guy that we were just talking about, dialing if you're in the chat, Ozzy Osbourne. You're going off the rails of the crazy train. If you listen to some of the shit he's talking about and doing, and we know the history of some rock and roll and its allegiance with occultic shit, and Aleister Crowley, and who's the guy that you was telling me about with the train tracks to deal with the devil and shit like that? Robert Johnson.
Robert Johnson.
Robert Johnson.
Yeah. He was a horrible musician. Went away to his town for like 3 years. Came back the best musician of all time. It's like, okay.
Yeah. And my point is that, like the Bohemian Grove, for instance, I know we keep talking about it, but that started off as they had that land. It's a big plot, 2,700 acres, right? It's a big like retreat.
Mm-hmm.
And it started off, you watch Midsummer, right? Hunter had me watch Midsummer, and it's the same shit, bro. It's the same idea. Summer retreat, right? And the Bohemian Grove started off as like journalists went there. Artists went there. It was an artist and journalist getaway where they just they left society and they drunk and they did whatever they do there, right? But there are no cameras, nothing allowed. You just go have your freedom, right? Then it got bought by William Taft, our president, and it got turned into like secret society started to adopt it. This is what I was going for. Secret society started to adopt it, and it became this whole kind of ritual island, like the spot that you go to. And I'm saying, to know that that's kind of like the history of Bohemian Grove, is that it starts with artists and journalists and creators and stuff like that. It makes you wonder then on their allegiance. Is it coincidence that, you know, Beyonce, who has had like esoteric messages, has thrown up shit like this, or owl symbols, and it, like, where's that come from? You know what I'm saying? Are they just randomly doing that too? I don't believe that.
No, I don't either. They're either told to do that or they study certain. I mean, these people like Beyonce, they're geniuses. I'm not saying that lightly. I'm saying when you get to a certain level, you know,
of creativity, yes,
you know, they're geniuses of creativity, and they know what worked in the past. And history repeats itself always and through every single thing. So, like, if something worked in the 1800s and there's symbols, why wouldn't it work today? I mean, it's the same thing. I do have it's crazy that the older I get. You know, I've always been, you know, you and Shane used to make fun of me on the podcast because I'm always the guy who's like, yeah, I can see that, but I can also see this.
Right.
Because that's just how my brain works,
Yeah.
because it's just everything, literally everything in life in my brain is nuanced. Everything.
Yeah.
It's so hard. Because, yes, I do agree that there's out there, but I also agree with the idea of, like, the devil planting seeds in your brain for their work.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like Ozzy Osbourne might not have studied anything.
Right.
He might not have studied anything.
Right.
But he got ideas through a certain
channel
energy
mm-hmm.
that was used before, because mm-hmm. it's the same, you know what I mean? So mm-hmm. sometimes, yes, you're right. And that's not, like, some people say, well, it's a coincidence. You know, now me and you don't believe that. That's not a coincidence. It's all working through different fields and shit. But you're exactly right. People, I'm not gonna say Beyonce specifically, but there are higher tier artists that know exactly what the fuck they're doing. The Beatles, please. Yeah, the Beatles know exactly what the fuck they're doing.
Exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, them are high level. They're geniuses, like you said. These are geniuses, and you can do it the same way. Do we not think that Kendrick knows exactly what the fuck he's doing?
Knows exactly what he's doing. Knows what
he
he's
knows
putting in his
from
art.
word by word, every
mm-hmm.
line by line. He knows what he's doing. So, yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, and I'm just saying there, like either scenario that you brought up, because I agree too that, you know, we talk about ideas and how it comes to you, and you said it could be Satan, it could be God a lot of times, and you just that's
Scary thought.
that's the conundrum, right? That's been the conundrum of forever. The angel on the good shoulder, the devil on one shoulder. Who do you listen to? You don't fucking know. And even the worship of Moloch and Belial, like in ancient times, stemmed off of, they thought that they were sacrificing it to a god. You know what I'm saying? Like, we think that these people think that they're doing evil, but like,
they don't at all.
In their brain, they're doing human sacrifice to a god. So they think that in order for it to fucking rain to grow the crops, I have to sacrifice my firstborn kid. That's what people used to think.
Yeah, we think that these people are bad. In their brain, they are doing God's work.
Yeah.
And that's scary.
That's scary. That's where you get caught. That's scary. Cults are all
scary because you think you would bet you would tell everybody in your life, like, no, I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to.
I'm doing the Lord's work.
And it's like
you mean with the kid up there, like about to be burnt, the effigy?
Right. Yeah. It's like, yeah, it's exactly what I'm talking about. It's like, I don't know.
I don't know. And imagine being caught up. Okay, so anybody out there, if y'all haven't seen Midsommar, go see it. Obviously, if you haven't seen Eyes Wide Shut, go see it.
You know what I'm ready to talk about?
Go ahead.
About another movie you just watched that you watched half of.
The Holy Mountain, man. Same thing, but a whole different.
I told you. I told when you said Midsommar, I said, nah, this movie right.
Yeah, nah, whole different.
You can't even prepare yourself.
Yeah, I looked up every list. It comes in at number one on the
occult
films. It's not even close. It's so out of here. It's so out of here.
Another one I told you. Another one who's even way more than Midsommar. Watch Beau is Afraid. With Joaquin Phoenix. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you, it's one of those movies. It's fucked up, bro. It's like,
is that the one that you was saying it had like Scientology?
No, that's The Master.
The Master.
That's his best performance I've ever seen. That you need to watch that eventually. But Beau is Afraid. It just came out. Matter of fact, Beau is Afraid. I'm pretty sure he made Midsommar. The same dude.
Oh, the same director.
Aries. He made Hereditary and Midsommar. Okay. His 3 movies.
Okay.
So, but this one even takes Midsommar to a step up. This shit's so crazy, bro. It's just, this motherfucker's crazy. But yeah, the Holy Mountain, man.
See, the Holy Mountain is what I deem what we and we just use Ozzy as an example. We seriously, I don't know this.
Right.
We use him as
a crazy ass guy.
That is the Holy Mountain of your scenario, where it's like that comes to you in a psychedelic vision. It's not an active, like the Holy Mountain is more like it's a spiritual experience.
That's why when in my review, I'm like, I think that's what it is. I don't know what I think. I mean, I don't know.
It's no what's
they don't
the
even
word?
talk for the first 30-40 minutes.
Yeah, there's no direct correlation. There's no direct dialogue. There's no direct. It's just like it's literally what you would experience on a DMT trip or and
the dude kind of looks like Jesus. And
it's
the way he comes off that.
Yeah, they go into an enlightenment trip to the Holy Mountain to get enlightenment, which is, that the history on that is all rooted in what we're talking about. Ritual ceremonies and occult shit is all stemmed from like a enlightenment experience that people go on. The Dalai Lamas and all of that shit, man, that people have tried to do to reach enlightenment. But man, what a film. What a fucking film.
Yeah, you're going to have to finish it because the end's nuts too. The end's fucking crazy.
I'm going to finish it. Let me just say to everybody out there watching, bro, I've been into this shit my whole life, but I've been heavily into occult shit this past year. I've read 2 occult books. I've been asking Hunter I've been asking about these certain films. I watched Midsommar. I've been watching Eyes Wide Shut. I've been into this field for a long time, and Holy Mountain.
There's nothing you can prepare yourself to watch this movie.
No, I had to turn it off halfway through because I was high watching it, and I was so scared, and it was bothering me so bad. I turned it off, and I can't say that about any film ever in my life.
Right? Yeah,
that's how uncomfortable it made me.
Yep, it's like that, man. I was by myself watching it, blowed, and I was like, I kept thinking, like, duh. And it's like every scene, bro. Every different scene.
It's like that shit in Rick and Morty where we talk about where they do like a crazy, they zoom in on like a concept for 5 minutes and then they get back out of it. And we're like, bro, that was only 5 minutes of the episode, and then we got a whole nother episode. It's like a meta thing.
Yeah.
That's how that film was. Like, it
Kept
was just
going
like
and kept
every
going and
scene,
kept
bro.
going.
Every scene was a different concept.
Yeah.
A crazy fucking concept.
Yeah. And then, bruh, them shapes and symbols, bro. I don't know if you got to that part where, like, did you get to the part where he walked in? He walked
And
in,
he
there was
was
all
spin-
them rainbow colors.
Yes,
And
and
he
he was,
met the
and the
guy
floor
at
was
the-
spinning and shit.
And he met
That's
the guy in this, and the guy was like the white, bro, that fucking, yeah,
the
man.
alchemist, bro. That was the alchemist scene.
The
Bro.
alchemy,
That
exactly.
shit,
And he started doing this shit. He like pooped. He
bruh.
pooped in the thing, and
He
it all
turned it
made
into, and he
thing.
turned it into elixir, into gold. The alchemist.
Yeah, bro.
Hey,
That shit was crazy.
Alejandro Jodorowsky, whoever created that film, legend, bro.
And he did it all. I don't remember specifically, but I think it was like off $10,000. But like it was
It's
so
a crazy budget, bro. And
That's
it's all in
yeah.
New Mexico. He filmed it there.
Yeah, in Mexico. Yep.
Bruh.
Yeah, I can. And the thing about that movie is, it's so bizarre. I've seen that movie one time, and that's enough.
That's enough.
Like I don't get me wrong. I will watch.
It's like taking 10. It's like taking 10 G's of shrimp. It's like that's enough.
Yeah.
For
Exactly.
one trip, I only need one trip like
There's
that.
so many scenes I still remember right now, and I watched that movie two years ago, and they're just implanted. I will. I mean, I'm not gonna say I'll never watch it again because like, I would watch it with somebody.
But you gotta be in the right space.
I would really try to watch it on like I don't know if I'd watch it on a trip, but it'd be
I ain't gonna
yeah,
lie.
It could.
I've been told that about certain films and shit. Like, don't watch this. Watch it. Nah, that film.
Matter of fact, hold on, real quick. Beau's Afraid. They
Oh
said,
yeah, that's how they promote. Yeah,
that's how they promoted it. And guess what? 1,000%, dog.
You agree?
1,000% agree. There are scenes in there where you're hemmed up and you're not on shrooms.
Right.
Like where you start feeling like I'm not a guy where I watch a movie where I don't really feel anxiety watching movies. I don't really. Nah, bruh. There's moments in this movie where you're like, I'm very uncomfortable. And like I was like, you can see yourself. Matter of fact, Miss Summer did that one time. When she was on shrooms,
I felt like I was on shrooms.
I felt like I was on shrooms.
For sure.
I felt like I was like, I know what the fuck you're feeling right now.
And she was about to have an anxiety attack, bruh. Oh.
This is that times 5. Beau's Afraid has scenes like just like that. And I was watching that movie. I'm like, okay, I if I was on shrooms right now, I would be
tripping with him.
I'm tripping with him. So yeah, but I forgot about that Midsummer scene when she was tripping. She woke up and everyone's like, calm down.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm
about to get anxiety.
I know how you feel right now.
Yeah.
I know that exact feeling right now that you're in, and that's a fucked up feeling.
It's a fucked up feeling, bro. When you feel like you're about to have a mental break like that.
You feel like you're about to have a heart attack. You feel that like you don't know. It's really hard to explain. You just don't know. You don't know what's what. You're looking at people. They're all like, hey, you're like, nah, bro. Like you're
Bruh.
Yeah,
that's a scary place
feeling,
to be.
man.
That's a scary place to be. I already know.
Yeah,
but yeah, Holy Mountain. I'm gonna watch Beau's Afraid probably tonight. I ain't gonna catch.
It's a longer movie. I think it's like 2. It might be 3 hours. It's a long ass movie.
Dialogue?
But it's
whole storyline. You got storyline and dialogue, or is it just all?
It got a lot of dialogue.
So it's not just all psychedelic.
The storyline is no, yes, and no. It's so fucked up, bro. There's mind bends, and you're going. There'll be multiple times you're gonna say, "What am I even watching?" It's kind of it's one of those movies, bro. It's a weird watch. One of the other weirder movies I've seen.
Well, I'm gonna watch that. Everybody should watch it. But again, at the top of all this, before you guys get into some of these classic occult films, especially Holy Mountain, you got to work your way up to that level. I want everybody to watch Eyes Wide Shut. The name of this episode is called FEDelio. You've seen at the top of this episode why I called it FEDelio. Because you got to have a password, which is symbolic. In this case, you got to have some sort of accolades or some sort of you got to have a password. You got to have a rite of passage to get into these elite clubs is what I'm saying. There's many cults. I know Hunter used to look into cults back in like 2019 or something like that. When was that period?
What'd you say, my bad?
When you used to look into cult documentaries and shit like that.
Yeah, 2018, 2019, I was working at
hey, everybody out there, and I still got a lot more to talk about, but tell them quickly our cult story in LA. I've never said it on stream, I don't think.
I mean, that's one of those moments for me that is just so still to this day, it makes me get the heebie-jeebies. only because, you know, how old was we went to LA first? 21, 22?
21.
20. Okay. So me, you, Biggs, Holden go to LA. We're you know, we're bored. We're walking the strip. Walking Hollywood Boulevard. We get pulled in by this guy saying, "Hey, trying to sell us something." We're like, "Nah, blah blah." But we're
Right over there by Ripley's, believe it or not. Anybody going to Hollywood?
Literally right next to Ripley's, believe it or not. And it's a huge building, and we're like,
we're so dumb and naive.
we were just bored.
We thought it was a part of the. We thought it was a part of it.
We thought, yeah, exactly. We were just bored, didn't know. We were talking to him. We're just going with it. He ends up somehow. He keeps trying to sell us something the entire time, trying to sell us like the package, the thing. He ends up getting me, Stephen, Holden, and Biggs in this super tiny little movie theater room. It's like 10-minute movie. We all watched a 10-minute movie.
Bruh.
We stand out there. He's trying to sell this fucking thing, and like at the time, I'm still like, I don't care. We're all laughing, ha ha ha. We're saying like, dude, we're not buying it. You know, none of us buy it. Cool, whatever. It's a weird experience. We don't think nothing of it. During that time is when I was going through my documentary phase, and I'm going through my call.
Hold on, before you go further, tell them how we tried to exit, and he would not allow us.
He would not let us. He would like. I remember specifically me even saying, because I was working.
Hunter had to say, "Dude, we're not getting any." I told him,
I said, I respect it so much, bro, but you're the best salesman I've ever heard because you will not say no. He literally would say, "Well, at least buy this," and we're like, "No, do you have to buy this?" And we're like, "Nah." He like was standing in front of us. I remember even like another guy came around.
Yes,
like they was almost like trying to corner us in this fucking building.
Yes, and this building, in the middle of it, there was a staircase that went upstairs.
Yep. It was a weird setting, bro. So, you know, but it was just weird. But, you know, we were just laughing. We didn't really care. We didn't, whatever. We're in LA. We get home that first day. I watch go back to my first day. I watch a documentary of Scientology and the creator of it. And I'm like, nah. That's what I'm like, no, bruh. No. And then remember, like a couple weeks later, I got something in the mail.
We got something in the mail, bro.
And I'm like, hold on. What the fuck? How'd they get our shit? Yeah, that's still a moment to me because, like,
hey,
you know, you know me, I watch certain shit in weird orders. You know, I don't just pick something to watch. That's not how my brain works. So I could have been watched that documentary, or it could have been years later.
It was too perfect timing.
It was the day back. I'm watching this. I'm like, this looks familiar. I'm like, what the fuck? That's where we was just the fuck at. Oh my god.
No, this is a true story, y'all. We almost got. We was almost like Tom Cruise and Will Smith and all these other.
Them Scientology motherfuckers do not play. That's facts. They do not play.
We might have gone under some fucking hypnosis, bro. That room, I'm telling y'all, bro, that room was small. It was smaller than where I'm at right now.
Yeah, definitely.
It was really enclosed. A TV right in front of us.
Yeah.
It was about maybe 3 rows back of a theater. And it's just one of those, it's almost like either the scene in Carolyn, Don't Go Into the Light, or the scene in Get Out when he's tied down. And the dude comes up on the screen and explains to him the coagula experience. The white man comes up on the screen and tells him, "I want your eyes."
Right.
It was almost like a TV like that. It was one of them. It was just crazy. And then the dude would not let us leave without trying to like give him blood. He wanted us to give him blood. He wanted us to write our name on a paper.
Yeah. And sign for these crazy packages and shit. And yeah, Scientology's another. The fact that Scientology, like everybody knows about it, and there's like documentaries, and there's like surviving Scientology, and there's the way they get down and like still just functions completely as a state of the church, and get away with all the shit they do is mind-boggling, dude. I don't know how that no one even cares almost.
No.
And they still do
just
it.
Like, oh, that's the Scientology. Let them.
It's like, no, what they're doing in there is scary.
Mm-hmm. They do.
But yeah, that Scientology is just the biggest cult. That's what it is. It's just the biggest. It's really an active cult.
It's like a new religion.
Yeah, it's an active
like
cult.
a new religion. Yeah.
Yep.
But damn, I was about to say all of this to say, watch Eyes Wide Shut. That's the start of this because again, you'll get a better understanding. Trump, I think he's in a rock and a hard place. I think this is obviously dividing MAGA big time. I do believe that he has been given instruction. I don't think he is able to release this list if he wanted to and survive. It's really, really interesting because later, what time is it?
12:10.
12:10. I really want to show this clip, but I don't got it pulled up just yet. But Bibi Netanyahu came to the. First off, let me etch this timeline out for everybody. The day the Epstein list was told to us that it was good, done, nothing to see here, was the day that Bibi Netanyahu was coming to the White House. Bibi Netanyahu's come to the White House twice last week.
Yeah.
But the first day, it was the day that they said clean up the Epstein thing, right? And again, I don't want this lost on people. Jeffrey Epstein was a Mossad agent. He was an Israeli spy. His wife's father was a head of the Mossad.
Right.
And Jeffrey Epstein had no financial backing. He had no money, no job that indicates that he should be an elite member of society. He had the biggest mansion in Manhattan.
Yep.
He had a private island.
There's so many shit of people just like giving him like $1 million houses
all the time,
like documented. And it's just like, what do you mean you just gave what? Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that?
What's the workings on that? Like,
right.
And the fact that they don't want to open this investigation and they're saying there's nothing to see here when we got Maxwell in prison for human trafficking to who?
Yeah, that's the thing. To who?
She's serving a 20-year sentence for why? Free my bitch.
Right. Yeah, if it's like that, yeah, get her out there. What do you think that as far as like predictions go, do you think this is going to be one of those things that that in a year we'll look back and say, wow, bro, he really got that off? Or do you think this is going to be something that be like, we are not like, this is something where the people will hold stand on and be like, nah.
I think this sticks. I think you remember last stream you said, I can't remember what it was about, but you predicted that whatever we was talking about at the time was going to be a point of focus in the next election. You said that's what the next.
It was saying they was going to undo. It was the whole.
Was it the war?
The big beautiful bill and shit.
The big beautiful bill. You said they're going to run it. They're going to run on that.
Yeah.
This is going to be another run because this has been ping pong back and forth between administrations. This has been out since 2016 or that era, that first Trump thing.
2020 is when documentary. 5 years ago is when
that was Pizzagate.
Yeah, Pizzagate.
No, Pizzagate started in the first
Hillary Clinton and shit area.
Hillary Clinton and shit. The Trump versus Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
Pizzagate started then. Her email got leaked. The WikiLeaks.
And a whole bunch of pizza shit in there.
And a whole bunch of pizza shit in there. And then the 2020 era, it came back again. They silenced it. Then it came back again with Pizzagate, and they called it QAnon. And then we got kind of the details. It was 2019 when Jeffrey Epstein killed himself and shit. So it came back around that time.
Yeah.
And I think this is going to continue to rear its ugly head. But my point is that it's been ping pong back and forth between different administrations. So this means that Trump's administration had it.
Then Biden had it.
Then Biden had it. And then Trump and them have it again. Right. Yeah. So that's a lot of hands for this stuff to go through, if you know what I'm saying. For sure. And it's a lot of time for stuff to be cleaned up and cleared up. But my point is that I think they'll run on this again. The fact that Trump and them had such a big gaffe on this, because this is a big.
Yeah, you think that Democrats will come and like, we'll
release the list. We got the list. It's so delusional. They're going to politicize this when this should be a bilateral. This should be a bipartisan issue. This should be.
There's so many issues in America that's what happens. It's like, let's just stop with Republicans and Democrats. Let's talk about what's right and shit. Like, God, leave.
Stop it. Yeah.
Just stop. Stop trying to just drive me.
Both parties should agree that children should not be fucking sacrificed to an owl.
Boom. Like they don't agree on nothing. Like if someone wants mustard on their burger, they want ketchup.
Yeah.
It don't matter. It's like, dude.
And mustard's not good for you, by the way. If they want, it's so delusional. It's like y'all can't agree on child pedophilia.
I mean, dude, if there's one thing that can't a regular human being agree on, it's literally that.
Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, bro, they're crazy as hell, man. Them parties are stupid as hell.
Yeah, so I agree. I don't agree. My prediction is that it continues to rear its ugly
head. You think it stick? It leers around. It don't go away.
Yeah, this is a conspiracy. You can't. It's such a big.
Because they verified it. They should, like I said, if they would have never came out and made all the documentaries.
Exactly. If they just did what they did in 2016 and 2017 and just kind of ignored it, but the fact y'all ran on it, y'all made it mainstream. This is now it's not even a crazy thing to say in the White House or in a. He sat at the little briefing table and said, "Epstein, would y'all stop talking about him?" Like, you know what I'm saying? He's crazy for that. He's so crazy for that. What do you mean?
That is bizarre.
Yeah, you gonna get mad?
No.
What do you mean? You gonna get mad and pound the table?
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was years ago. You guys think it's like they don't give a fuck.
No, we didn't get any resolution on it.
Right, you didn't do exactly what? Yeah, he's crazy as hell, man.
But yeah, so I think it continues to rear its ugly head. But I want to throw it to you real quick on like, do you think because QAnon, Trump's MAGA base thought that from a long time ago that he was getting in there to clean up. Remember what was the term they were using? Drain the swamp. You remember drain the swamp?
For sure.
They thought that he was getting in there to clean this up, a lot of this up.
Right.
The pedophilia going on in the Senate and all of this stuff. Right. Do you think that the deep state went like? What do you think Trump is silent through this? Like, I know you said he's been given instructions. Hey, don't you release this list or else. Do you think he remains silent on this? Is this one of them things he releases on his deathbed as a tell-all? Or like, because to me, people are setting it up like this whole big grand conspiracy, but they're not talking about the implications on, are we selling out to the deep state or not?
We definitely are. I mean, we've always have been. That's always the thing. Yeah, I can see Donald Trump doing a tell-all when he's on his deathbed saying, fuck y'all. Yeah, I can definitely see him doing something like that.
I'm just saying, man, I don't want it to go unnoticed that Mr. Netanyahu, the same time that this list gets cleaned up, Netanyahu is in the good graces of America. He was rumored, the rumor out there was that mayor in New York was going to try to arrest him because we know he's an international criminal. And Trump and them came out and said, yeah, right. But BB came to the White House last week and everything was smooth selling. You know, he said he's nominating Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize. No. So you mean to tell me, Trump, that all they had to do was dangle a peace prize in front of you? Really?
Yeah. He's a narcissistic son of a bitch at the end of the day.
He is.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's always about gain or like some sort of. It's really about recognition for him.
Yeah. 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 Exactly.
He wants to go down as Mount Rushmore.
He already is that. We already talked about that, but yeah. As far as impact, as far as presidency impact.
Did we agree to that? We said he's in the 4.
Yeah, I think so. I think Abe and George are the only ones.
Abe, George, Thomas Jefferson. I would have to think about it again.
He's by far already in the last 50 years. It's not close.
The last 100 years.
You know what I mean? Like it's just not for good or bad, just for how fucking polarizing he is as a fucking president.
For sure.
You either with Trump, you either love Trump or you can't fucking stand Trump.
Yep.
That's what I mean. People who subscribe to these policies and everything like that. I don't give a fuck for none of them. And you know, I can see the humor in it all. Yeah. But most people ain't like me or you. So
yeah, they really be invested into that shit. So yeah,
right in the policy, what they do.
Love or hate. They love or hate them. Fuck. What was I gonna ask you? I can't remember what I'm going to ask you, but there's another island out there. I'm about to switch topics. There's another island out there for everybody that does not know. And by the way, this Eyes Wide Shut scene that I played was a Rothschild's mansion. It was a Rothschild's mansion. And there is an island out there called Rothschild's Island. And I just wonder what they do on
Rothschild. What goes on? How are they doing on that island?
Curious on what you're doing on that island. That's by Antarctica, by the way. That's a no-fly zone. No one has ever been there. It's apparently for research and shit on Antarctica, but I wonder what goes on there. Just curious. Apparently, it has no connection to the Rothschilds either, by the way. But fuck, let me see if I can find Mr. Netanyahu going to the White House, because here we have, we know that we're in the 60-day. Well, just look at this, guys, real quick. Just look at this. Look at what I'm about to share you guys. This is what me and Hunter are sick of. This is what the whole country is sick of.
We will shut off the machinery that feeds money into Iran. We will no longer have 100 hostages still in captivity, Israeli and American and otherwise, by Hamas and Iran's Hezbollah mercenary forces. We need America to wake up and prioritize Israel and bring home Israelis and make sure we stand by our #1 ally in Israel.
That's your FBI director, Kash Patel, right there. After the 12-day war, after the bombing of FEDelio, after all of the back and forth, Trump saying, what did Trump say a couple weeks ago, famously?
Classic. He said,
they don't know what?
These motherfuckers don't know what they're doing.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
So it's like Bibi Netanyahu once again, bro. This is what I'm saying. Underneath all this going on, the P. Diddy thing, the Epstein thing, Bibi Netanyahu is the fucking story that I want people to understand.
Yeah, right.
He wins again.
Again.
And he's coming to our White House and he is punking our politicians. And I do not think that it's not connected to the Epstein thing. Right, it's connected to the Epstein thing.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
It drives me crazy. Here we have the FBI director, Kash Patel, who they weren't so sold on this war when they were running. Right? Now he's saying we must stand behind Israel, bring Israelis home, protect our #1. Like, he's trying to get this is in the height of the Epstein thing, by the way. Now he makes the statement. He's basically saying, he got on TV to say, get off of the Epstein thing. And this is what he ran on, him specifically.
Yeah, I mean, it's also crazy because it's just like, what if Kash Patel, which would be surprised, it's like, it's different when motherfuckers is really at your neck in your life. It's like, hey, you're going to get on there and say this, or we got your kid.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, oh shit.
Sure.
It's like, okay, fuck it. I love Israel.
Get on there and say that. And that's what really jokingly, that's what I wanted to kind of point out in the clip, is that to me, we talk about
it's all blackmail with these.
Who did we joke about? It sounded like they was doing it with a gun to their back. I can't remember who it was. Maybe it's Steve Nash when he sits up there with LeBron James, but but it looks like a nigga got a gun to his back. Like,
we will shut off the machinery.
To me, maybe I see through this shit, but it seems like he's being forced to say these things.
Definitely.
He don't.
You just don't switch your opinion like that, just like that.
So abruptly. And like, exactly, your opinion may switch over time, but like your opinion switching from left to right in like a nanosecond.
It's like how'd that happen?
How'd that happen? And it goes to the ancient old anti-Semitic trope that they control everything. I'm sorry.
Yep.
It just fits right in that you're not going to tell me all of this happens the same week that we invite Bibi Netanyahu over to the White House, and then all of a sudden the files are cleaned up. Everything's cleaned up. When this is really, let's just be real, guys. I'm sick of it. This is a big old grand Jewish conspiracy. Let's just be fucking real about what we're talking about here. This Epstein thing stems from Mossad, which stems from Israel intelligence. Okay. And the whole idea of that is that they use that to control politicians in America for their better benefit. Okay, so if Israel needs constant 24-hour protection or 365-day protection, if we could send them billions of dollars to defend their budget, to pay for their health care, shit that we don't have, to fund their dome, well, how would you do that? How could that be completed? Surely Israel would know that over time America may get sick of them, right? Well, how would you maintain that control? I don't know, maybe through a blackmail ring where you blackmail their politicians into surrendering and going over there once a year or so to kiss the Wailing Wall that Donald Trump, and wear the fucking thing that they wear and kiss the wall and suck Bibi Netanyahu's dick. I don't know.
Yep. That's exactly what happens. Same shit we do to other countries.
Same shit. Same shit. So,
is there anything else important we gotta get to? I gotta get off in like 10 minutes. I guess I'm going out to eat.
Yep. I'll leave you. I'm gonna stay on, but I'll say this for another. We could talk for another 5-10 minutes, but let me close this little segment out. Cash Patel. Although I sympathize with you because, like what Hunter said, Pam Bondi, you're doing a terrible job, and I sympathize for you people because I do feel like you guys are compromised. It almost seems like you guys ran into a ghost or ran into somebody real. You guys are talking like with your bugged eyes. You're talking like this.
Right. Yeah.
Like you've seen a ghost.
Yep.
And I sympathize with you guys because I know what that means. And you guys, this isn't to them. This is more so to the viewing audience out there. Just pay close attention to all the moves that are being made and understand that the timing of all this is not coincidental. Israel moving in on Iran is not coincidental. Bibi Netanyahu's moves are not coincidental. The Bibi Netanyahu nominating Trump for a Nobel Peace Prize and pushing for Trump to get a Nobel Peace Prize is not coincidental. Seems like a deal was brokered and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we got the Greater Israel project being literally happening right in front of our face. So,
yep. Make Israel great again.
Make Israel great again. Make Israel great again. And we are just kneeling and bowing at everything at the behest of Israel, man. I can't believe that we're watching this in the 21st century. Just a country of our magnitude, of our power, of our image, just literally getting punked left.
It's funny because Tyler don't really pay attention to none of this stuff, and this is a couple. I think it was right after the 12-day war. But she says, because I was saying, like, I wish we would stop back in Israel, blah, blah. She's like, well, what if Israel attacks us? I said, please.
Right.
That's
not that way. Yeah.
Exactly. They can't do shit. Like, if we drew the line in the sand and was like, we're done, absolutely, and like it's war with us, like we'd blow. It wouldn't even be close. They get all their shit. It wouldn't even be fucking remotely close.
And the only way they would get us is through intelligence.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Through blackmail.
Exactly.
So if our leaders couldn't step up and just die on the sword of the fact that they fuck kids, then we might lose.
Yep. That's legit.
Anything else that you wanted to talk about real quick, or did you see KD's comments on the thing? We got the Drake situation going on, getting on my nerve.
Real quick, Drake getting his tattoo. He is so, Lord, he's so crazy, bro. Ben said him getting all these tattoos of all these other people is so
now, you
weird.
Can't tell me that's not initiation, bro.
Yeah, it's just so weird. But yeah, for 2 minutes, man. KD, dude. Dog, don't say nothing about Michael fucking.
Don't let us bark up your chest, bro.
Come on, dog. Because not like, me, I leave that shit to you and Shane for what? You're talking about the guy who left. Some people go play baseball, because his dad died and his dad wanted him to play baseball, and he came back and still won 3 rings. Some people just want to play. It's like, right? So he went and did that and still accomplished more than both y'all put the fucking together.
Literally.
So like what? So that's what. Where's the riff? I wish Mike. That's why I love Mike, but I also hate Mike. I wish Mike would come out and say, "Shut up, KD."
Well, we know he's coming next year.
That's gonna be like must-watch TV, bro. We don't like, and that's what Tom Brady and all them should have done. Go away for 20 fucking years, and when you come back out, we're glued.
We're glued.
Bro, when Mike's on the screen, you shut the fuck up and listen.
Big time.
I cannot wait until he's. Oh my!
The LeBron circus is literally falling apart in front of our eyes.
This is it's an all-time, bro. It's an all-time. It's LeBron. I can't get on Twitter without people making fun of LeBron.
Yeah, it's literally falling apart. His whole thing is falling apart bad. And to your point about the KD thing, real quick, is that was my beef. It's like, because now he's trying to say, well, I just said the truth. And it's like, yeah, well, we don't. That's what irritates me about people. It's like, no, we've seen why we don't like the setting in which you told the truth. Because you set up there with LeBron James on that show when he goes there constantly, week after week. LeBron James's goal is to rewrite narratives. That's his goal. Let's just be real. That's his operative. Him and bobblehead Steve Nash go up there, and Steve Nash don't even be agreeing. He don't even know how to agree properly. I see Steve Nash, and I literally see the gun in the back.
Right.
I see Rich Paul with a gun in Steve Nash's back because he be like totally at a loss for words sometimes. But the show is essentially a narrative rewriting show, right? They get up there and say delusions.
That's exactly what it is.
And so for KD to come up there and even use Jordan's name as a hot buzz thing, that's where it was nasty, dude.
Yeah.
We don't care about what you said.
No.
But it's like why you said it and who you said it with. We know what you're doing. So stop playing this little game. That's what gets on my nerve about them. Stop playing this little game like we can't see what the fuck you're doing.
Yep. Well, yeah, I gotta get off here, but Jeff T, I got your ass next time.
Man, I swear to God,
I got you next time, big time.
A whole
segment on your whack trash ass podcast, and you was horrible.
Another Clutch Sports member.
Yep. But all right, I'll pop on next time you go live this week.
All right. Yep, sir. Yes, sir. Have fun going out to eat. And we're about to continue, guys. Go ahead. We're about to continue. To Hunter's point, man, Jeff Teague, KD, this whole LeBron James obsession with rewriting narratives and stuff like that. And I get it, as your career ends and you're in the twinkling stages of your career, you're seeing the writing on the wall. And you got LeBron James throwing fits everywhere. He's mad at the Lakers for not giving him he wants more fucking control over the Lakers. He wants to be more so into their future plans and stuff like that. And they're not giving it to him. They're giving it to Luka Doncic, as they should, because he's the new franchise. And LeBron James is not able to stomach that. He's not able to stomach it right now. So he's really upset about it. And he's throwing a hissy fit. That's what he does. But this whole idea, guys, that this whole show, I can't remember what the LeBron James show is called, is they branded it as if it was going to be good for basketball and stuff like that. And they rarely get up there and talk basketball. It's literally just LeBron James rewriting history to save his legacy. And it's really disgusting. And for all the people that go up there and help him accomplish that, you guys are fools. And you guys have always been pawns in his ultimate game, which is to step on you guys and utilize you guys, turn Kevin Love into a spot-up shooter, turn Chris Bosh into a spot-up shooter. And then when the facts come out and history comes out, then he uses that. Then he uses his fans and his blind witnesses to go attack the careers of his former players. You know what I'm saying? It's a sick thing. Like when LeBron James fans, his rabid, delusional fans, attack Chris Bosh's career to shine light on LeBron James. That's what they do. They attack Kevin Love's career to shine light on LeBron James. They attack Kyrie Irving's career to shine light on LeBron James. They attack Dwayne Wade's career to shine light on LeBron James. This is what these people do. And Jeff Teague, we know you're bought and paid for. You don't got to keep coming out and being so obvious about your recent Kobe disdain. Now Kobe didn't deserve to be a member of the All NBA team and all this stuff like that. All we got to do is a quick Google search: Jeff Teague representative. When you do a quick search on Jeff Teague and his representative, you would see that he's represented by Clutch Sports. Clutch Sports is funded by Rich Paul and LeBron James. So it's all the same umbrella, all the same tactics. We know you guys learned this from Hove. Hove is in a whole fight for his life over there at Rock Nation with Desiree Perez and the shit going on with his son and Meg Thee Stallion versus Nicki Minaj. And even this Drake thing stems a lot from the whole Rock Nation thing. So we know the tactics that are being had here. They won't work. And I really wish they would kind of ease off of that a lot. Speaking of such, Def Jam and Rock Nation and all that, I do want to give a quick shout out to the Clips, man. That album is fuego. We got Let God Sort Them Out. And I'm hearing that we now have a fucking response from Mr. Travis Scott, who we know Pusha T sent shots on the single So Be It, where he said that Travis Scott essentially cried and died in front of him. And speaking of Moloch and owls and worshippers and stuff like that, you also look into Astro World and the carnival or the festival that was Astro World, and kind of some of those symbolic things that was going on with Astro World in the eating and sacrificing of children, whom we know of a couple people that died during the travesty of Astro World a few years ago. But Travis Scott has responded, it looks like, to Pusha T. I don't think it's a good deal. He said some weak-ass bars, something about Pusha T's and old-ass niggas getting on his nerves. Stand down. That's my advice. Travis Scott, if you could do anything, stand down. Do not. I don't know why you're even falling for this. And what's funny is to really see these labels move. That's what's really funny, is to see these labels move. And you see the Pusha T Clips smear campaign happened all last week and 2 weeks ago with the leaking. They leaked the Kendrick Chains and Whips verse, then they leaked, the album got leaked, and then you had a whole batch of streamers come out and try to slander it, or you even got Kai Cenat and some people not even trying to acknowledge that the album dropped. You got Academics and Cake Turk and Cake. He's on vacation somewhere. Kai Cenat is reacting to the Justin Bieber album. You got Aiden Ross over there, I think in UK with Drake at the Wireless Festival. All this type of shit. No real estate being had on this Clips album. And this is what I'm talking about when I say we got to protect the essence of hip hop in the culture, is that these people literally leech and eat off of this culture when it's beneficial to them and when it's their side of hip hop, which is the parasitic side of hip hop. It's the Black Death side of hip hop. These people are obsessed with Black Death. They're obsessed with the extermination of Black culture, Black people, the heritage of Black people. Anything good and positive that comes out of Black culture, they don't want to be associated with. They like Black Death. They're like the bubonic plague. They love Black Death. They love seeing us talk about killing each other. They love to see us talking about raping each other, robbing each other, all of those things. But when it comes to an album or artists like the Clips, who you got No Malice, who is formerly heavily associated with Christian rap and kind of cleaning up a lot of his career and changing his drug dealer ways, not cussing through the whole record, but putting on a spectacular display of lyricism without having to say any cuss words. Now, there is a lot of, as far as the content, there is drug talk and stuff like that, but they usually use that to kind of shield and guise a lot of their bars and a lot of other playeristic boss talk that they really do. The Clips, Pusha T and Malice really essentially do "You Disgust Me" raps more than they do coke raps. I know that they're classified as drug dealing rap and this and stuff like that, and there is content stemming around those things, but a lot of what they talk about is kind of just like better than like luxurious Rick Ross, Jay-Z type rap. And my point is that you got the streaming community like Aiden Ross, who can't stop talking about hip hop. He's over there dick sucking Drake now, leading fuck Kendrick chants over in the UK. And I'm just sitting here like trying to remind people that like this is a Black art form, and we have a Jewish white man in our culture. It's literally. This is what I said when I told you guys my review on Sinners. Sinners is this to a T. And it's like you gotta invite them in. You gotta invite the vampires in. You gotta invite them in for them to have any power over you. And once we invite these vampires into our culture, this is what we get. We get bloodshed, we get mayhem. And that's essentially what you're getting when you get Aiden Ross, again, a Jewish white boy, sitting over there in the UK leading fuck Kendrick Lamar chants. It's like, boy, please, like you are literally. This is why we loved Mac Miller and Eminem and some of the Beastie Boys, and because they understood that they were a guest in hip hop. Okay, you are a guest in hip hop. You do not come from this culture. You have not breathed this culture. You're not a participant in this culture. You are an active guest in this culture. We are allowing you to even source our content and give you the look that you need to even be a part of this space. And when that is the case, which it is, you should have some sort of reverence and some sort of respect for hip hop culture, which he does not, which is why he's leading those chants. And this is the story of Sinners. This is the story of the vampires that you let into your world, and now they're parasitic. Now they are a leech onto you, and you're the host. You're essentially the host. They can't live without you. Aiden Ross can't live without hip hop. He can't survive. Hip hop is the cool factor that all these guys needed. Your Kai Cenat, your Aiden Ross, these streamers. And this is what I was talking about on my last stream with Shane. when I was telling them, no, they are hip hop, or they are in the hip hop space. They leech off of hip hop, and they had to get this cool factor upon them for them to even have the looks that they have today. You know, it was just a cornered market. The streaming community, the gaming streaming community, was its own little market. Yes, did they have a good real estate? Yes, of course they did. They had the gaming, but they didn't have the coolness of where they're at now until hip hop gave them the blessing. And then you get them on Fortnite. You get the whole Fortnite situation. You get all of the collab between hip hop and Fortnite, and the dance moves and the emotes and all that shit like that. That's where a lot of this, the birth of a lot of this, stems from. And I got a big issue with it. I have a big issue with it. I have a big issue with these people that are supposed to be guests in hip hop assimilating and assuming these spaces and not treating it with the respect and reverence that it deserves. Ultimately, this is kind of what I have to say about the Clips album. It's a brilliant stroke of work, but of course, Pusha T pissed off that avenue of the culture, one could say, which is, you guys got to see the play that's being had. Kendrick released the album. He did not. Even during the beef, Kendrick's angle was to expose Drake and expose DJ Academics live on Academic Stream. And then you get the release of Kendrick's album. He did not do no media. No, he did traditional media. He did Harper's Magazine. He did traditional media. Then you get this Pusha T release, traditional media. If you get a Hove release, it's going to be traditional media. It's going to be these avenues. There is a war going on between the streamers and even the podcasters in the hip hop community, right? And it's for this market share, it's for this real estate space, because the streamers have been brought in and invited in by, long behold, Mr. Aubrey Graham and other hip hop members. I mean, it's not just limited to Aubrey Graham, but Aubrey Graham at the top of that list. You see, he's over there at the Wireless Festival. You see that during the height of the beef, he was relying on the streamers to release his music, to preview his music, to be his mouthpiece. Drake still has not sat down and had an interview and explained anything. He's used Aiden Ross and Academics and Kai Cenat to speak, in Maul to speak on behalf of him, right? And Drake is trying to make a comeback. The pedophiles make a comeback this year. Let me see. Hold on. The pedophiles return, and they're using the likes of streamers to make this grand return, and that's just what it is. We're about to see a second leg. We're about to see kind of like the resurrection, and see how much there is left of Drake, right? And I said, during the beef, that we weren't going to be able to really assess the damage until we was able to see the carcass. And right now we're seeing the carcass. Now Drake did release What Did I Miss? And I think What Did I Miss is really funny to me, because it's kind of like Drake. I always give this similarity. Drake is kind of like the white girl that was down with all the niggas in high school, right? She's super cool. Or even I'll joke and give Hunter the example, right? Hunter was always down with, a lot of people in the community, right? It's almost like, if he gets his ass beat and it divides a lot of the people in the community. It divides a lot of us, right? A lot of the black people. And some of us, it's just like, they say their true feelings on how they felt about Hunter or the white girl the whole time. Fuck that bitch, yada, 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 yada. And the other half of the people is just like, nah, that's my dog, blah, 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 blah. But Hunter gets up and says, you got to hit me in my face. You got to hit me harder. That's essentially what Did I Miss is like. It's like we had a whole battle, a battle of Normandy. We had a battle of 1812 last year or 2 years ago, a year and a half ago at this point. And now we're seeing like the corpse rise and basically say, you didn't kill me, or you got to hit me in my face, or haha, it didn't hurt. That's literally what Did I Miss is all about. It's like, what did I miss? Like, I got a black eye, I got a bruised nose, I got a broken collarbone, I got scratches on my neck. But like, what did I miss? I got my ass beat, but so what? And I think it's funny. Me personally, as far as the song goes artistically, I think it's pretty flat. I think it's pretty atypical of a Drake record. To me, I like him in the Nokia bag. I liked him in the Who's Out There For Me bag. And what's funny about that is that Kendrick said that I think, Drake was expelled from hip hop essentially, right? And Kendrick said on Euphoria, keep making them dance, keep making me dance, waving my hand, and it won't be no threat. So as long as you make them singing girl dance records, it won't be no threat. But if you assume hip hop position in the rap real estate, then you're gonna have issues. And we've seen that. I can't lie, that's manifested itself. It's reared its ugly head in the last year and a half. You guys got to remember last year after the beef, that summer, Drake tried what he's trying this summer. He tried it last summer. And a lot of people forget that he was trying to throw out records. Drake released 20 to 30 records last summer, guys. And I'm not exaggerating. He literally released that amount of records last year, and none of them stuck. I'm talking about the records with Lotto, the records with Playboy Cardi. I'm talking about No Face. I'm talking about the record with Young Thug. I'm talking about records galore he released, and none of them stuck, right? And then you got this year, he kind of teased it, and we talked about it. This is what the whole idea was with the Playboy, not Playboy Cardi, but the Party Next Door record was to kind of test the market and test the space, dip his big toe into the water and see what it was hitting for. And then now, the record was met with a lot of mixed reviews and stuff like that. But in that record, he did give us Nokia, which I think rose high on the charts. It did not reach number one. And he did have We in Miami Turn It Up Another Notch, right? Those are two records that you could say for the time period did stick, right? And now we're getting this summer, right? And he's finally outside. Now he is in the UK. I said the test for him is to come back into the States. Lane said that weird little leak thing too. Yeah, he was leaking records and shit too. And he also was leaking other shit too. But yeah, Drake got serious issues, man. I'm talking about the tattoo initiation thing, the dick leak picture thing, all that weird shit that be going on behind the scenes is weird. And again, Stefan knows that this is closely associated with the Epstein list as well, and this whole pedophilia kind of narrative that's being ran the last couple of years, along with P. Diddy, Mr. P. Diddy. Mr. Sean Diddy Combs is associated with this too, but I digress. My point is that this record is supposed to, I think, debut at number 2. I think the second week of the charts is going to be really interesting to see how they work this record, because again, in today's society, in today's musical chairs, like you can release a record, with streaming, you can release a record, and if you release it in the right space, in the right time right now, and you have the open floor, you can easily go number 1, right? And nothing was released when Drake released What Did I Miss? It was perfect, smooth selling, right? So to me, it's always the second and third week and stuff like that to let me know where the industry is with you, on if you have the proper backing to keep it up on the charts, because it calls for it to have radio fare, radio play, and positioning and streaming and ads and all that stuff. It costs some money for that to be had. So I'm gonna be really curious to see how the second and third week does. Lane says, was the comments about UK rap better than US real? Yes, Drake is being delusional, even though we have on record his top 5 list. He's saying that UK rappers clean up the USA rappers. And it's all this ploy that I told you guys last year or 2 years ago what he's trying to do. Drake is trying to ice out the culture. He's mad at the culture, right? So that's why he's relying on the streamers. He's relying on people that are kind of like fringe in the culture, but not really. He is mad at the core of hip hop. The core of hip hop has never fully accepted Drake since the beginning of his iteration. If you guys remember, all the way back to his record with Trey Songz, I Just Want to Be Successful, and all that stuff. Drake was a hybrid rapper. He rapped about it all on the come up. He wasn't accepted, and there's a long history, right, of this thing. So then you get Kendrick that comes along and kind of gets the core of hip hop beside him. And as we see, Kendrick weaponize hip hop's core in the culture last year to whoop Drake's ass. So Drake now is using it against, he's trying to punish you guys. He ain't punishing me. I've been ignoring the clown all year long. His music ain't going like shit. If you don't want to be a part of this, you don't want to be a part of this. I'm still going to listen to Pusha T. I'm still going to listen to all these other records that are going to come out and cook. good riddance to you, dog. But for all of you guys out there that see a lot of Drake fans, they make the mistake thinking that hip hop started with Drake. It's only Drake and LeBron fans that think. You see what's going on with LeBron James and his revisionist history with historical great players, right? He's attacking them because his fans think that the NBA begins and ends with him. When you had Kobe Bryant, Magic Johnson, Jerry West, Michael Jordan all pay reverence and literally roll out red carpets and shit like that for the players that came before them. They've never spoken nothing but high regards to the Wilt Chamberlains, the Bill Russells, Kareem Abdul-Jabbars, and those great founding fathers that paved the way for where we are today, right? But for some reason, you got LeBron fans and Drake fans that do this weird thing. Drake fans think that hip hop started with him. They don't pay reverence to Rakim like Kendrick just did. They don't pay reverence to Big Daddy Kane and all this. They don't pay reverence to those people. So those two are the same in that aspect and many other aspects. But my point is that hip hop will be fine without Drake. It has a funny way of reinventing itself and rebirthing itself, and it always continue to do that. So Drake is trying to throw this hissy fit with hip hop, and that's why he's in the UK or Australia. He started in Australia, didn't complete the tour, and then he sat down with that Australian streamer, and now he's sitting down with Aiden Ross and all the. He's not sitting down with no hip hop media, nobody in the culture. He's just trying to throw a big ass hissy fit. Let the guy throw the hissy fit, man. Let him throw a hissy fit. He's been expelled from the culture. Ain't no way Travis drops today after the success of Let God Sort Him Out. Yep, he dropped. I think a 17-track Jack Boys. He already dropped Lane. I know I told you it was going to be Sunday, but he dropped at midnight already. And he has some Pusha T shots on there. It's a weak project, but he does have some Pusha T shots on there. And this is what I was talking about, the musical chairs that are being played at the top. These are labels. Labels do shit like this, right? Universal Music Group, Def Jam, Rock Nation, Atlantic Records, RCA Records, Warner Brothers. All of these different labels play. They'll send a label mate out to step on another label mate. They'll hold your record back to release it at a certain time when it's smooth sailing. When it looked like you guys got to pay attention to what's actually going on out there. Kendrick also has a deluxe album out there that he's waiting to drop, right? And him and Drake have been playing this whole tug of war game on trying to drop when each other drops to steal that real estate market and suppress one or the other. It's what they did during the battle, right? You drop at night, I'm gonna drop right on top of you to steal some of that market space, and your viewers aren't even gonna, your listeners aren't even gonna get a chance to dissect your stuff because I'm gonna drop and shake up, whatever you're talking about. That goes on in between labels all the time, and that's what we're seeing. It's a classic case of what we're seeing with the Travis Scott and Pusha T situation, right? Pusha T announces he's releasing this week, and then Travis Scott says, hey, we're dropping on Sunday. So that's what we're seeing a lot at the top, and it's this big industry war going on. And it's all kind of trickling its way down into the subsidiaries with these artists and stuff. But really, besides the drama, outside of the drama and stuff like that we're talking about here, like I said, I just want to say hats off to the Clips. And, man, some of them records on there are just so spectacularly good. And that's why when you have the ace card, when you have the Joker in your hand, when you have the ace of spades, you don't trip. If you guys remember during the battle, Kendrick was not tripping at all. He didn't say anything because you knew you got the reverse Uno card. You got the ace of spades, and you could play that at any point. This is how Travis Scott and them proceeded. Pusha T and Clips was just like, y'all do what y'all do. There was a clear smear campaign happening all last week for the Clips album. It got leaked. All the streamers picked it up and said the album was trash. That turned out to be a lie. It's not trash at all. It's actually really fucking good. But Pusha T and them, they didn't change nothing. They didn't change their release date. They were confident about what they had, and it definitely worked out in their favor. Now, as far as charting success, we'll see how it goes. I fully expect Let God Sort Him Out to probably debut at number 2 or 3 on Billboard charts, because in the midst of all this, not only did Travis drop on Sunday, but you also got Justin Bieber, who dropped on Friday with Pusha T, a random surprise drop. And I am hearing that Justin Bieber may have been used as a ploy in all of this thing here. So we'll keep our eyes peeled out for the whole Justin Bieber angle on this. But like I said, ultimately the music always wins, and the music is there on the Clips album. I'm talking about Mike Tyson "Blow to the Face" is such a record. FICO is such a record. Let God Sort Him Out with Nas on it. I mean, we're talking about an album that has Nas as a feature. Tyler, the Creator, knocked his feature out of the park. And then you also have Kendrick Lamar on Chains and Whips, who blew that shit out the water as well. We're talking about a really good body of work, and I highly recommend everybody go out there and listen to this album and support this album. We know that your punk ass. We know we have your punk ass streamers out there that are not going to support this album. So it's on us, hip hop lovers, music aficionados, and stuff like that to support the Clips in this album because they deserve it. Let me see. Now I know there's this Texas shit going on. I want to send condolences to the family members of the tragedy going on down in the Texas state with the flooding and the flash floodings that continue all across. And then I also want to throw it to back to the LA wildfires, the Altadena fires, the Palisades and stuff like that. I seen that they approved that $120 million reconstruction or $20 billion reconstruction project of the Palisades and all that stuff is underway for low income housing and stuff. And I just want to say this is what we thought was going on, which is called a land grab, and we're literally seeing it come out. This is what really irritates me, man. The coverage on the Palisade fires and the Altadena fire and all those fires and stuff like that was so in our face, but then we don't get no follow-up journalism. We don't get no follow-up reporting. And this is how they're able to complete these projects and do these things, and it just go under the radar. Even the situation in North Carolina from the hurricanes last year, no follow-up on that. These people are still waiting on housing permits and stuff like that. The list goes on and on with things that go on like this, and it's really, 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 really sick. And it just really boggles me to know that, like, what was Stephen Hawking doing on this island? Little Stephen Hawking in the wheelchair. Let me find him for you. This is who was on the island. I just want y'all to know. I'm going to find his ass. Rest in peace, Stephen Hawking. But, yeah, man, there's just a lot going on. I am going to have to come back for a stream because I do want to talk kind of the Iran-Israel situation a little bit more. I wanted to kind of give an update on the Tyler Perry situation. There was something else major that I wanted to talk about, but I really spent a good segment of this, which I should have on. He said, dude, you got to start making little snippets of these long streams. Like the Palisades could just be 1 minute fire snip to push. I don't know what that means at the end, but yeah. Yeah, there's a lot more really that I wanted to cover because there's a lot going on. I haven't streamed in a week and a half because I just wanted a lot of information to come out and stuff like that. We got stuff going on in the hip hop space that I love to cover. This lawsuit still going on and active. Drake is back outside looking for a rematch, it looks like, but not necessarily with Kendrick, but just with the culture in general. And I just want to see how everybody moves when it comes to that. Then you got this Travis Scott, Pusha T, Jim Jones kind of situation going on. Where does Kanye fit in all this? Where does the Jay-Z Rock Nation thing coming in all this? Really, we haven't even covered the Kendrick Lamar tour, the European leg of this tour that's going on. That's been an amazing tour so far. So I'll kind of leave it at that for today. I'll be back on more than likely tomorrow. Honestly, I'm off work, so I'll be back on tomorrow. But again, I do not want to take away from what we talked about at the top of the stream, which is that there is a sex pedophilia cult out there that they want us to forget about. This cult has allegedly induced and seduced high-ranking politicians in a blackmail ring to control politicians on behalf of a foreign government. Okay. In this pedophile ring, it includes human and child sacrifice. This also conducts a lot of yearly trips over to Bohemian Grove that is happening in June and July every year for 2 weeks out of the year. This also stems back to the worship of a pagan god called Moloch and Baal. Okay? I don't want my viewers to forget this. Anything else that anybody wants to cover before I leave you guys with what I want to leave you guys with? Anything else? Let's see. I'm taking comments. Before I get off here. I'm fine. I'm trying to find my thing. Shout out to Rakim too. Where are we at? Oh, also shout out to Cat Williams. I want to say shout out to Cat Williams. I see you, brother. He's still out here doing the Lord's work. Shout out to him. Also, shout out to Mr. Frank Ocean, man. Please make a return. It was the 13-year anniversary of Channel Orange, man. One project that heavily influenced me. And I just want to leave the viewers. Oh, Nikki. Yeah, Nikki has gotten her re-up of her drugs, and she is on her she's on her rant again. The coke is doing her real good. But other than that, let me check Facebook real quick. Pretty sure I'm closing up. It's 1 o'clock. I haven't eaten a slice of anything. And I want to leave with this.
You got Bundy, you got Patel, you got Barr. All of these people work for Trump. Okay? So if they're covering up for somebody, who do you think they might be covering up for?
So you think they're covering up for President Trump?
People look at all of us. Everybody is looking at little pieces
This is Jeffrey Epstein's brother.
Kind of theories, but people really take the time because there's a lot of facts, there's a lot of information. People who take the time and really investigate this thoroughly all come to the pretty much conclusion that maybe Trump was behind this.
Wow. Well,
Maybe Jeff was killed to quiet him.
You think President Trump has something to do with Epstein, with your brother being killed?
I wouldn't write that off. Because if you look at all of the evidence we have and all of the facts, not opinions, and all of the facts, that wouldn't be something I would dismiss.
I mean, that's an extraordinary thing to say, but there is zero evidence that Donald Trump had anything to do with your brother's death.
Well, somebody did.
This is your